Hello, gamers. Good day to you all. How's everybody doing? It is once again Fern's Book Club, streamy Saturday. Today we're going to be playing Chapter 2 of Please Be Happy. Maybe more than Chapter 2, but we're starting with Chapter 2. I'm not really sure how long the remaining chapters are, but we're going to dive into that a little bit later. It's good to see you all. Thank you, Dalek Evan, for being here again. It's been a while. Thank you for the 3 months subscription. I'm looking forward to today's stream, and then I also have a lot of power right now in my hands because I have a tab here that when I hit it later today, we're going to play the Video Games Are Good Game of the Year video. So I want to hear y'all's predictions today. What do you think is going to get it out of our 9 nominees? Nate did some good work on that video, so I hope you all enjoy it. It's going to be a good time. I'm also shaking with anticipation. It's going to be so good. There are some good little moments in the video too, like just subtle, good video production things that Nate did. Some of them accidentally. I'll point those out after we play it through later. But yeah, so you have that to look forward to. We are going to play that at about 5:30. We'll find a good stopping point in the visual novel. And then we'll go ahead and hit play on that later. Hope you all are having a good weekend. I took some time off early in this week, so I have the weekend and a couple extra days, which are very much needed right now, so I'm looking forward to a little bit of a break. It's been a while. Gonna play some gamies with my friends. Gonna rewatch Everything Everywhere All at Once with my friends. Can't freaking wait for that. But yeah. Thanks everyone for joining today. Let me pause the music and we'll head into the game in a second here. Where's the game? I might already need Nate's help. Hooray. Good way to start.
And then you should be able to choose it from the drop down. Because it was Blue Loop that we ended on last time.
Oh, you right. Okay. There it is. Oh, we already have a poll. Nate is on full mod mode in the chat. I wish you could do more than 5 for the Twitch polls. Mod mode, let's go. Dalek, if you had it your way. I kind of feel like everyone is thinking that, like, Exocolonist would have been my pick. It might have been, but I don't know. There were definitely, it was really hard this year. It really was. You did another full run today? How do you even, oh my gosh. It took me so long to get through my second run. Like, I feel like even longer than the first. I'm sure at a certain point, like, you've played a few times through, so you're probably able to, like, skip through some of the dialogue and stuff, but yeah. I'm a slow gamer. Yeah, that was the theme. It was just like, y'all, this was so hard. These are all such good games, but let's celebrate one of them. Vidi suspects God of War. Interesting, interesting. All right. Good to see all of your predictions. There absolutely is a soft spot for Kratos the Viking Dad. I did. I just brought the game audio back. Can you hear it? Is that volume sounding good to everyone? Gotta have it optimized for some of those good character voice acting moments. I'm really glad that this game has, at the very least, full voice acting, because the narration is pretty long, pretty hefty. I'm not much of a talker, so after last week's first stream, it was like my voice was just fried. I was dead. I'm gonna have to start like coming prepared with tea and staying hydrated, which I never do. Hi, Kat. How are you doing, Kat?
Nothing like a hard day's work.
I didn't know it was gonna go right in when I hit that. All right, we're heading into the game, into the story, diving back in. Oh no. Sorry you have a headache, Kat. I hope you feel better soon. Hopefully the sounds of Please Be Happy will be soothing to you. What kind of tea you drinking, Kat? I'm drinking my coffee right now at 4 p.m. Got a late start to the day, so I'll have another late night, I guess. All right. So the person we just heard, I think, is that like old man, like traveler local that we talked to earlier on the mountain. Ahem. Fog settled over the forest, far from the villages and towns, and with it came silence. Birch trees shivered, pondering the weather, and dropped their leaves in fright. Streams bubbled, unseen by man. Wait, did we already read this last time? Is this familiar to y'all? And babbled like the birds in the trees. Hold on. I swear this is just the start of the game, right? Let me go back to the menu. Did I just not hit the right thing? Where am I going? I hit start, didn't I? I didn't hit load.
Already? Okay,
Yes. This is where we're supposed to be, gamers. I'm supposed to hit Q load. Okay. I know. Yeah. Ponder the weather was a memorable line. Okay.
We got a dev retweet.
A life worth living. That's all I want. Let's freaking go, gamers. For the second day in a row, I wake up in a soft bed. My bed. It's early. The library downstairs is silent. No one else is here aside from Juliet. I didn't even transform before falling asleep last night. Just passed out like this with human arms and legs. No wonder I'm sore. I think we can all relate. I pass out every night as a human and wake up sore and sad. After I agreed to Juliet's offer, the rest of the day passed by quickly. Aspen and Juliet showed me around the house part of the library, and Juliet made dinner for the three of us. Aspen didn't leave until the evening, and I decided to go to bed early. After the whirlwind of emotions I went through yesterday, I was exhausted and fell asleep as soon as my head hit the pillow. Not having to be on alert the moment I open my eyes is a nice change. I can toss and turn and even doze a little bit longer. I get as much rest as my body will let me. Once I've had my fill of being lazy, I finally crawl out of bed.
Okay, time to get up.
Yeah, we can get a tiny recap. For anyone who was not here or forgot, we basically started off, we started this game last week, and this is the main character right here, Miho. She is like a spirit, a fox spirit kind of thing. She can transform between human and fox forms. And she has this sort of magic about her that whenever she like meets someone or like she sort of has to like steal to get by and, you know, like just do what she can to survive. And she has this power about her where like a day or two after seeing her or meeting her, people just like forget about her and like don't know her name, don't remember their interaction. And so we have arrived in Wellington, just like exploring, trying to sort of like get a new start in life. And she met two people, two women, Aspen and Juliet, who she was talking about earlier in the narration, who remember her. And so she was really freaked out by that. And like it led to this sticky situation where she had been like trying to steal something valuable from the library here. And then like couldn't get away with it because they remembered her. But they've also just been really kind to her and like they've been offering her a place to stay here in this room upstairs above the library. And they made that offer multiple times. And then like when that whole like realization hit that they remembered her, she sort of ended up like having to take them up on the offer. And she was like, okay, you know, like maybe this isn't a threat, it's just, you know, people trying to be kind to me. So she's learning how to accept kindness and make friends, and it's gonna be a good journey from here. Yes, Nate cough in the background. Nate is local. He's like 5 feet away from me. Doesn't want to sit here. He's planning to multitask. He's like watching a game, watching a video game, watching a sports game, working, doing all the things. I'll see if I can get him on here later. Okay. Back to it. It doesn't take me long to get ready. I tiptoe to the door out of habit, so carefully that only someone with super keen hearing would be able to hear me. But then I remember.
Oh yeah. I don't need to sneak around while I'm here.
I loosen up and step out into the hallway, shutting the door behind me. Being so openly noisy is almost harder than being sneaky. The building is still quiet. Juliet told me to come find her when I wake up, so I make my way down the hallway toward the room where she showed me yesterday. Turn up the voice volume a little? Sure. I can do that. I'll just turn the music down a little. I think the gain's pretty high already. Let me know if that sounds any better. I can make that a little more prominent. It's one of the last in the hall, tucked away in the corner. Unlike the other doors, a tiny bit of flickering light escapes from the gap below.
This is the place.
Now that I'm standing here, my nerves start to get the better of me. What if she's forgotten me this time and chases me away? Or what if? I screw my eyes shut and take a deep breath, forcing away my worries. If I'm going to stay here for a while, I need to stop thinking like that. I can't let that fear keep getting the better of me. Forcing myself on, I twist the doorknob and enter. Wait, I should have knocked, shouldn't I? It's too late now as I step into the room, only to be struck by how dark it is. Oh yeah, that's a good question, Nate. Were you talking about the in-game voice or my voice? With no windows, the only light is from a dim lamp illuminating the white-clothed figure sitting at her desk. Just like the library downstairs, there are rows and rows of books covering the shelves around the room. Oh, the in-game voice? Well, then I did the opposite of what you wanted. My bad. Reading comprehension skills off the charts. Okay. I'm gonna turn the game back up. Maybe I'll see if I can turn the music down. Let's see. Oh no, you can turn the voice up. Can you just do all of them? I wish there was a slider you can just do all of them at once, because I assume they would all be quiet if one of them's quiet. I guess this is this is handy for if there's a character that you hate and you don't want to listen to. Okay, let's try that. You're right, I'm dumb. It's fine. Okay. Let's see if that's any better. Let me know what you think. It might be a while until we hear the voices again, but keep an eye out and let me know. Juliet looks up to greet me, a gentle smile written on her face.
Oh, good morning, Miho. Did you sleep well?
She remembered me. I hide my relief well, I think.
I sure did. I think that might have been the best sleep I ever had.
Awesome. Thank you for pointing that out, Evan.
I'm most glad to hear it. Would you like to sit down?
Oh, sure. Thanks.
There's only one other seat, so I awkwardly sit down across from her. It feels a little bit like an interrogation.
Would you like some tea?
The first question they ask in every interrogation. I've never had tea, so I don't know if I like it or not. I feel like I should accept her offer out of politeness, though.
Sure.
Juliet pulls out a teacup from a shelf nearby and sets it on a little plate. Then she carefully pours in the tea without spilling a single drop. She pushes the plate with the cup over to me.
Sugar.
I've eaten enough human snacks to know that I like sugar.
Yes, please.
She takes the lid off a small pot and offers it to me. It's full of little white cubes. Without hesitating, I take 2 and toss them in my mouth. They're kind of crunchy at first, but quickly fall apart. Juliet frowns, just a little. Enough that a human probably wouldn't notice. Did I do something wrong? I love awkward Miho. Wait, I know.
Oh, thank you.
That gets her to smile, so I'm pretty sure I did the right thing. She sets the pot of treats back down under her desk. I love Miho learning how to be human. She's so freaking cute.
We'll have breakfast in a little while. Aspen usually comes by to help open the library, and then we eat together.
That sounds nice. Does she help out because of the sunlight?
My, that's astute of you. You're correct. Although I'm able to tolerate a bit of sun, I do prefer the dark.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I left the menu open again.
I wasn't sure if you knew I was a vampire or not.
Alright gamers, first confirmation of what we all knew. That's the other thing for anyone who wasn't here last week. This is like a very like mystical, fantastical world. But also just like a regular place. And there's just a bunch of like, there's like vampires and mermaids and a cyclops, and obviously Miho is a forest spirit type of deal, so there's our confirmation. Vampire mom, Juliet.
I figured it out just now. That explains how you were able to hear me and find my den, huh?
Indeed. That said, I have my dear friend Orpheus to thank for helping me know where to find you.
Something scratches in the corner of the room, and I look up to notice a large bat dangling from a hook on one of the shelves. Has that been there this entire time? And they were roommates.
Is he also...
No, Orpheus is a bat through and through, not a vampire. He happened to notice you on his way home one day.
So that's the friend you were talking about. I was wondering about that.
Ben, you know the answer. You know my answer. I know, Orpheus is just gay best friend. Lives in the corner of your room. We've all got one. Anyway, Ben, yes, you absolutely should.
I have the pleasure of knowing several of Wellington's loco bats. They keep me apprised of news from around the city.
You're not, like... you know...
You know. I tap one of my front teeth, not sure how to ask the question politely.
Oh, heavens no. I consume as little blood as one of my kind can, and what I do partake of is freely donated. I love this city, and its people. I'd never hurt them like that. Besides, I had quite enough of that during my time in the underworld. Is that where you come from as well?
Oh, I'm not from the underworld. I'm from Korea. I've heard lots about it, though. I'm one of the only fabled I know of who doesn't come from there. For a long time, I didn't even know that other fabled existed.
Indeed. Gumio like yourself are some of the few I know of.
Wait, Gumiho? Is that what I'm called? That explains a lot.
You didn't know, but you go by the name Miho.
Just because I like the sound, I thought it was more like a nickname. I change it up wherever I go. Gumi, Homie, Migu. I've never had a real name. I didn't even know I had a kind. I've never met someone else like me. I wonder if we'd have much in common.
Have other foxes, well, Gumiho, lived the same kind of life I have? Maybe they're better at fitting in with people than I am, and that's why I've never seen one.
Are there any other Gumio in Wellington?
None that I know of. It's possible, though.
I'm not sure what I'd say if I did meet one.
I'd wondered about others like me before, but since I've never met one, I eventually assumed they don't exist. Finding out that they do, and that there's even a name for us, comes as a pretty big surprise. No matter how long I've been alive, there's still so much that I don't know about the world. As our discussion tapers off, the sound of the front door reaches my ears from downstairs. Juliet must have heard it too, looking over as I do.
Oh, that'll be Aspen. Shall we go down to breakfast?
I'll never say no to that.
Hi, Glory. Juliet takes to her feet, picking up the lamp and carrying it with her. Orpheus the bat leaves the study when we do, though he flies off in a different direction. I guess he won't be joining us for the meal. Glory, if you're attempting the one-trip grocery bring-in, we are all rooting for you. I have to be careful not to spill my cup of tea as we walk down the stairs. Aspen waits at the bottom, a large book tucked under her arm. She waves with her free hand to greet us.
Good morning, Aspen. It's nice to see you again.
Good morning, Juliet. And you too, Miho. I must admit, I was a little worried you might run off during the night.
I may have thought about it a little. After I went to bed, though, I was out like a light.
Glad you decided otherwise, then. Living in the library sounds like heaven. I can't believe you'd think about giving that up. Anyway, I'm opening today, so I can't stay too late. I'll go ahead and take care of the windows.
I'll get started on breakfast then. Would you like grape or strawberry jam?
I think I'm feeling like strawberry today. Oh, or some of that orange marmalade if there's any left. You have to let Miho try that too.
I'll see if we have it. Is that a nonce you have with you? You can just leave him on the desk for now.
It sure is. I'll be taking Jacques on the way out.
I'll write it down.
The two of them stroll off in different directions while I stand on the stairs, unable to follow any of the conversation.
Who's Jax? Anonsei? I don't see anyone with you.
This is a nonce.
She taps the cover of the book she brought with her.
He's the author of this. Juliet suggested I read some of his work, but I'm finding him rather dull.
Huh.
I try my best to sound interested, but I doubt it's successful. Maybe I'd see the appeal if I could read them, but how can they be better than doing things yourself? After setting the book down on the front desk, Aspen goes into the main room, leaving me alone in the hallway. I make my way down the rest of the steps. Looking down at my teacup, I decide to take a tiny sip. I'm getting tired of carrying it around. Yuck! It's kind of bitter, but also bland at the same time. Frowning, I set the cup down on one of the shelves nearby. At least I tried it. The sugar was way better, though. The door Aspen went through is still open, and I can hear her bustling around. The room where Juliet went isn't far away either, and I already smell food. I guess I'll go watch. Aspen, Juliet. Hello? Oh. That was so stupid. I thought that was someone calling them. Did y'all hear Nate cackling at me just now? Okay. Where are we gonna go? I think I want to go into the kitchen with Juliet. I was like, dang, they're about to introduce a new character finally? Okay. I follow my nose and head to the kitchen. There's a big frying pan on the stove with a blob of melting butter sizzling in it. Juliet gives the pan a push to move it around before walking to the counter to continue her work.
That smells great.
Oh, Miho, go ahead and take a seat if you'd like. This shouldn't take long.
I do what she suggests and sit down at the dinner table in the same spot as yesterday. Lovely smells swirl about the room as she opens this jar and that.
What you making?
Fried eggs and toast with some fresh fruit. It's what we usually have. Is that all right with you?
That's alright by me, gamers.
Better than alright. I'm almost drooling just thinking about it.
I hope that it lives up to expectations then.
Yo, let's get some hypes in the chat. Nate's got the goatee reveal set up, ready for the site, ready for YouTube. We're gonna premiere it on stream at 5:30. I'm excited. I watch as she quickly butters a few slices of bread and then tosses them into another pan on the stove. While it cooks, she takes an apple from a nearby bowl of fruit and cuts out the core before swiftly chopping it into perfectly even pieces.
Sure did that fast.
Practice makes perfect, as they say, and I've had quite a lot of practice.
After moving the apple slices onto a plate, she takes an orange and starts to do the same thing.
The bats enjoy fruit as well, so I tend to keep a lot of it around the house. If there are any items you'd like me to keep around the house for you, do let me know.
Something tells me that snacks from the convenience store aren't what she has in mind.
I'll tell you if I think of anything.
Juliet finishes the fruit before dropping the eggs into the pan with butter, where they start to sizzle too. Finally, she slides the toast out and onto a plate. Right as the eggs finish cooking and Juliet sets the table for the three of us, Aspen daintily steps into the room.
All set on my end.
Thank you. I just finished cooking too.
We all sit down and dig in. The food, of course, is delicious.
So, So, Miho, how will you be spending your first day as an official Wellington resident?
I don't know yet. Hadn't really thought about it. Now that you mention it, I'll have a lot more free time now, huh? Usually I'd go hunting for food, or looking for a better place to stay, or...
Instinctively, I go silent as I reach for my pocket and the familiar crumpling paper.
Or...
If it's something you don't want to share, don't feel that you must.
Right, that too.
Aspen too nosy for her own good. I hesitate. I'm not sure I've ever told anyone about my goal, or at least not the specifics. I've had a lot of first times lately, though. What's one more? Besides, maybe the two of them can help.
No, it's okay. I've been looking for someone.
Yeah, they are really cute. I wipe my hands first, making sure they don't have any crumbs or grease on them. Then I carefully slide the thin scroll from my pocket. I always keep it in the deepest part where it won't get wet or damaged. With great care, I gently unroll it, letting the two women see the ink markings brushed onto the scroll. The edges are fuzzy with age by now, but the text is still legible. I think, anyway.
They gave me this a long time ago. I don't know what it says.
Did I just skip a line?
Is that Korean? Maybe Chinese? I'm not able to read either one, unfortunately.
They remind me of older Chinese characters, but I can't be certain myself. Sorry, but I'm not too familiar with them either.
They look a little defeated, but I quickly wave off their concern.
It's okay. Nobody I've asked could read it either. For all I know, they might just be scribbles. I thought that maybe if I knew what it said, it would help me find them.
Who exactly are they, if I may ask?
They're a traveler. I learned that word just to be able to describe them. They were the first human I ever met, and they told me stories about the rest of the world.
And you've been searching for them ever since then?
Yup, for as long as I can remember. I met them back in Korea, when I was a fox. I couldn't understand what they were saying, not until much later.
Reminiscing about them gives me a very particular feeling. It's warm and fuzzy, but also a little sad. I think people call it nostalgia. My voice is a little quieter as I finish what I mean to say.
But that never stopped them from coming to see me. I don't know their name or even where they're from, but I'll definitely recognize them when I see them again.
Both of the women before me are quiet for a moment, visibly thinking over what I've just said. After a long while, it's Juliet who speaks first.
In that case, I'd be happy to assist in any way I can.
Me too, of course. Speaking of which, I may have found something useful to you. I was doing a little bit of research on Gumiho last night. There was surprisingly little to be found compared to some of the other fabled.
Wait a sec. You found out that I'm a Gumio too?
Well, yes. It wasn't too difficult to look up. Is that odd?
So in less than a day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to find out something about myself that I couldn't in a lifetime.
I guess not.
When you know, you know. You know? Sometimes you can just clock it. So while someone's on their lifetime journey of learning, you're just like, I see you. I only realize how I sound after I've said it. Juliet shoots a look at Aspen, who quickly tries to move the discussion along.
Anyway, I was trying to find out why Juliet and I can remember you when nobody else can. Although I didn't find anything about memories in particular, there was one story that claimed a Gumiho's curse doesn't take effect until a full day later.
It's a curse? What the heck?
Oh, of course. And since you and I both saw Miho again before too much time passed, we didn't forget her.
Right, that also makes sense from what you told us yesterday, Miho, doesn't it? You said you don't tend to talk to people a second time.
Yeah, I usually try to avoid it, really.
Very good joke, Nate.
Michael.
Hi, Yamatsu. How you doing? I hadn't ever thought of my magic as a curse before, but I guess to the person it's affecting, it is.
So that means that all we have to do to avoid forgetting about Miho is...
It's impossible to miss the pause before Aspen's words. Like even she's not confident in what she's about to say.
see her every day. Forever.
It sounds like a dream. Forever. That word hangs in the air. Aspen says it cheerfully, but I can recognize just how impossible that is. At some point, even these two will forget me, won't they? Why even try then? Why bother if I know it'll just hurt in the end? On cue, those kinds of thoughts start to swirl in my head like always. It's so tempting to just stop caring and give up on others. No, I won't let myself dwell on that. Not on my first day living here. Who knows? Even if it's a long time from now, maybe these thoughts will go away for good. Juliet clears her throat before the silence goes on for too long.
Well, that's not bad at all. Preserving the memory of those you hold dear is one of the most important parts of life.
Going through this experience like, hey, I know we've only known each other for one day, but in order to continue being friends or progressing our relationship in other ways, we're gonna have to see each other every day for the rest of our lives. How does that sound? Aspen considers for a moment before nodding.
It really is.
It seems a little early for either of them to consider me dear to them, but I keep that to myself.
So, anyway, about Jax.
For a relief, Aspen changes the subject away from me and my magic. As Juliet and Aspen chat between themselves, the conversation drifts onto things I don't know about and people and places I don't recognize. It's all probably related to books. I smile and laugh when they do, but I'm not really paying attention or talking. Listening to the two of them, they may as well be speaking a different language. The more I observe, the more it seems I'll have to learn. Not just about normal people and human life, but about myself as well, and even the world. In one day, both Aspen and Juliet were able to figure out what I am and how my beads work. I've had a long, long time to do that, and still had no idea. It doesn't even seem like it was hard for them. There's something that I have to admit to myself. I haven't really tried before. Just what have I been missing out on? I feel something bubbling up inside of me, The same feeling as yesterday when I decided to come back to the library instead of running away. Something that makes me clench my fists and take a deep breath as I make another decision. Something that I realize I can put a name to, even though it's a new one for me. This is what people call hope. Well, you do it, Miho. You hold on to your identity and your future. Even if it's pointless in the end. No.
I want to learn how to be a person.
That's me waking up every day, gamers. Juliet cuts off whatever she was saying mid-sentence. Both she and Aspen turn to face me, eyes wide. Oops. I guess I should have started by waiting for them to stop talking.
You want to... what?
I've already messed this up, but I keep going.
Be a person. To know about the things you two are talking about. All the stuff that you give me a weird look for when I don't know. I want to learn about it.
I'd say that you're already well on your way.
That was such good delivery. You want to what? I see Nate is playing favorites, got Aspen best girl. Her tone becomes quite serious as she continues. I'm a little glad. She sees as much weight behind this as I feel about it.
Miho, there are some things that you can't rush or change overnight. This is definitely one of them. That said, starting can be the hardest part. You've already taken the first steps.
What Juliet said. I'm sorry, too. I didn't mean to keep you out of our conversation.
No, it's okay. I was busy thinking anyway. I can't stop looking for my person, of course, but maybe I can do more than that too.
We'll help you in any ways that we can.
Aspen nods in agreement, but then checks the time and sighs.
It'll have to wait until later, though, because I need to be leaving for work. I'm sure Juliet needs her rest, too.
Thanks. I am rather tired. Will you be alright on your own for the day, Miho?
Yeah, I should be. I'll figure out something to do.
Ah, wonderful. Here, let me take those.
What the heck? She gets up and collects the dirty plates, then carries them to the sink. Wearing earrings and wearing big chunky headphones? Difficult.
Tomorrow I have to go in earlier than usual to open. If you come by, I can make you that drink again, Miho. As long as you promise not to run away, that is.
Sure. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere this time. Although... will it still be at home?
At home?
Like... free.
Oh, on the house! Yes, of course. This should probably be
That's
the last
cute
time,
as
though, or
hell.
my boss will start getting upset.
That's so cute.
Aw, okay. It was nice while it lasted.
Aspen pauses as she rises from the table and starts to leave.
You know, getting a job might be a good idea if you're serious about living a normal life. It's hardly the most fun, but then you could buy as many fairy kiss chillers as you want.
A job? Sounds like a pain.
So true. Aspen just sighs as I sink into my seat. The way she talks about having a job makes it sound awful.
Well, it's just a suggestion. See you later, Juliet. Miho.
With that, she takes her leave as Juliet and I wave her off. After the distant sound of Juliet shutting her bedroom door, the whole library is silent, leaving me alone with my thoughts in the kitchen. The front doors are unlocked and open to everyone, so it's just a matter of time until the first guests arrive.
Well, what do I do now?
The empty room doesn't have an answer. Right about now, I'd usually be scrounging for breakfast, or scoping out a new place, or maybe even planning where I'll spend the night. But with a full belly and a bed to come back to, I don't have to worry about any of that. Instead, I have a lot of free time on my hands.
Guess I'll explore.
It's how I've been spending a lot of my time recently anyway. And while Juliet and Aspen seem fine so far, it's still a little tiring to be around other people so much. Having some alone time is important too. Making my way into town, I try to pay more attention to what people are doing instead of searching for opportunities. I meant what I said about wanting to be more of a person, but small steps are easier for me. And if there's one thing I'm good at, it's observing. Of course, I'll also be keeping an eye out for anything that can help me find my person, but I have to admit that I don't have much of a plan for that. Usually when I go to a new country or city, I'll try to find someone who might know them, or who recognizes my scroll. I usually prefer asking other Fabled. They're easier to deal with than humans. It's not a very efficient plan, if I'm being honest. I'd have to get really lucky for it to work. But I haven't come up with any better ideas, and I do have plenty of time to try. Now that Aspen and Juliet have offered to help, maybe they'll be able to think of something new. For now, I'm just killing time. At first, it's not so bad. I take my time passing through the city, and even pop into some stores along the way. One is full of musical instruments, while right next door is a store selling kitchen utensils. Across the street, there's another place with racks full of used clothes. I step into each store and pace around the aisles, just browsing. Usually I'd never come into these kinds of shops. Even though they have some expensive stuff, it's all bulky and hard to carry. Plus, I've learned the hard way that some pawn shops and buyers are good at guessing when something is stolen. Now that I'm paying more attention to what's for sale, I realize that I don't even know what a lot of this stuff does. In the kitchen store, there's normal pots and pans and dishes, which makes sense. But there's also a bunch of different gadgets with all kinds of shapes and sizes. I can't even guess what you'd use most of them for. At the music store, I recognize a few instruments like guitars and pianos and drums. There are also a bunch that I've never seen before, but don't know the names of. Or that I've seen before, but don't know the names of. Mostly the kinds you play with your mouth. Then there are some that I've never seen and can't even be sure are actually instruments and not some other kind of device. I seem to be the only one having this problem. In both stores, the other customers I've seen all walk around like they know what they're doing, or at least are looking for something in particular. I try to listen in on a conversation that someone's having with a salesperson, but it's just like listening to Aspen and Juliet talk. I don't recognize half the words. In the end, I didn't spend long in either store.
This is already harder than I thought.
Nearby, there's a clock outside one of the stores, and it informs me that it's only been an hour or so since I left the library. There's still a long time before Juliet will be up. Guess I'll keep looking around. Although I'm not expecting much, I continue to browse through most of the shops I pass, just for something to do. I think about going by the Bell House and saying hello to Aspen, but when I get there, there's a line out the door and around the building. Peeking through the window, I don't even see her. Instead, someone else is taking orders at the counter. I don't feel like waiting, so I keep walking instead. I end up walking for as long as I can stand it, past the skyport and the beach, past Mount Victoria, back towards town yet again. When it eventually gets too boring even for me, I head back to the library. It's much busier now than when I left it. There's a pile of books on the desk that people have brought back, and the checkout sheet is half full. Some of the chairs are occupied, and at least a dozen people are browsing the shelves. None of them pay me any mind, even when I grab a snack from the kitchen and then head up to my room. In there, I do the only thing there is to do. Flop onto my bed and look up at the ceiling. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to have a bed to do that in. But it doesn't help much right now.
So I can be bored outside or bored inside.
That's life, baby! In my normal life, I'm usually too busy to be bored. Having time to rest and relax can be a luxury. Now I've got more time than I know what to do with. I hadn't even realized this would be a problem.
Guess all I can do is wait for Juliet.
Hopefully she'll have some ideas. I get the feeling she could give advice on anything.
May as well get comfy.
Yawning, I get under the covers and then transform into a fox. With the soft pillow under my head and the cozy blanket around me, above me, it's a lot like being in a very comfortable den. And after all the walking I did, a nap does sound pretty nice. If I'm lucky, I won't wake up until Juliet does. Wrapping my tail around my face, I close my eyes and eventually drift off to sleep. It's almost dark out when I finally open my eyes. Just like this morning, it takes a second for me to remember where I am. I burrow my way out of the blankets and then retake my human form, rubbing the sleepiness from my eyes.
That nap worked better than I expected.
Hopefully Juliet will be awake by now. If she isn't, I don't know what I'll do. There's no way I'm falling back asleep anytime soon. Unlike this morning, when I pass by Juliet's office, there's no light from under the door. I do catch the sound of something going on in the kitchen, so I make my way downstairs. In the kitchen, I'm treated to quite the sight.
Good evening, Miho. I'll be with you in just a moment.
It's not just Juliet in the kitchen, but 3 bats as well. One clings to the back of the chair Aspen sat in this morning, and another is on top of the fridge. The third one is perched on Juliet's shoulder, and I think it's the same one that was in her office this morning. Juliet's holding a small bag and handing out the contents to different bats. On closer inspection, I realize that they're bugs. All the bats devour them greedily, including the one nibbling by Juliet's ear. She doesn't seem too bothered and hands them each another treat. Yes, we got bat friends. Just hanging around the library.
All right, here are the last ones.
The bats on the chair and fridge finish their snacks and they fly over my head and out of the kitchen. Their wings nearly clip me in the face, and the gust they create blows my hair around. The last bat stays on Juliet's shoulder even after it's finished eating. And then Juliet picks up a small envelope from the counter and ties it to one of the bat's legs. We got messenger bats?
Thank you, Orpheus. We'll see you soon.
Launching itself off of Juliet's shoulder, Orpheus takes flight and exits through one of the library windows. Even though he was much bigger than the other bats, it doesn't look like Juliet was fazed by being used as a launch pad.
My apologies, Miho. You caught me just at dinner time for the bats.
It's okay. I just woke up.
Oh? I take it you had a busy day then?
Well, not really. Just walked around for a while and then took a nap because didn't know what else to do.
I see. I'm sorry to have left you on your own all day. I should have made sure you were taken care of before I went to sleep.
She sure does apologize a lot. Is that what it means to be polite? It makes me kind of uncomfortable. It's not like she did anything wrong.
What are some of your hobbies? There are all manner of things tucked away in this room, all that throughout the library.
Hobbies. I don't think I know that word.
Something you do for fun, just because you enjoy it.
Oh! I don't really have anything like that.
Although she raises her eyebrows, Juliet just nods. I'm guessing that wasn't an answer she was expecting.
I think I understand. Well, perhaps that should be our first order of business. I believe you'd find your life much enriched with something amusing to do.
Gamer. Over here being loud.
Now you know. When I'm streaming and you come home from the grocery, now you know.
I'm always quiet. I'm like a mouse.
No.
Yes.
Okay. Like what?
She ponders for a moment, tapping the countertop beside her.
It could be anything. A sport,
See?
art, or even something like watching television.
Viddy is
Whatever
backing
brings
me
you
up
joy.
right now. Viddy is backing me up right now. It's true.
He doesn't like me, bro.
Viddy is the expert. Viddy is here day in and day out.
Ever since Viddy went against me on Pluck Worms, Viddy been fighting me.
Hi, Ricky. I'm just here for the cameo. And to talk shit to Viddy. Alright. Thanks for the input.
Pretty sure I've never tried any of those.
I can really sympathize with Miho. It's hard out here to find a hobby.
Then,
There's so much
it
to do,
seems
you
we
know?
have plenty of options to start with. I know you've done a lot of walking today already, but I need to go into town to run some errands. Would you be interested in accompanying me? Maybe we'll see something along the way that strikes your fancy.
Nate and Viddy are always feuding. Deep down. I never turned the gain up, gamer. What are you talking about? No, I said that the gain was normal. Ricky, you just arrived in the middle of a feud.
Sure. Fine by me. Not like I've got anything better to do.
With a smile, Juliet gathers up some more papers and envelopes from the table and tucks them under her arm.
Let's be off then.
Leaving the library unlocked, we set off down the familiar path. Juliet maintains a brisk pace, but it isn't too fast. I like this a lot more than going slow.
So, Miho, how are you enjoying Wellington itself so far?
I like it. It's not too big and it's not too small. Like that there's the ocean and mountains close by.
Yes, we're truly fortunate to live in such a paradise.
How'd you end up here in the first place? You said you came from the underworld, right?
That's correct. Ugh, I was much wilder and irresponsible in those days.
We love to hear it. Tell us more.
But then, I met someone who changed my life. Someone who made me want to be a better person. And part of that meant reinventing myself with a new life in a new place. Rather like what you've been doing too.
Huh. I can't picture you being crazy like you said.
That's something of a relief, but it was certainly true at the time. Sometimes, it does feel as if I was an entirely different person back then.
Juliet, currently the most like stable and wise person in the entire world. Just goes to show you gotta be a little wild first, you know, to gain all that wisdom. Yeah, not too long now. Oh my gosh, not too long now. We're planning for around 5:30 to get that Goldie video out there. So good timing.
It can be difficult to reconcile who we were with who we are, or want to be.
Doesn't seem like you had too much trouble with it.
I wouldn't say that. For one, this was very long ago.
Hey,
And
fish.
even now, I continue to change. Everyone
Gay
does.
Fox is right here, and she's learning. She's looking for hobbies. She walked all around town, bored out of her mind. That's what you missed. Now that she has her basic needs met and like the bottom tier of like your basic needs, she's trying to work her way up that pyramid, you know? Looking for fulfillment, enrichment, humanity, love.
Perhaps in a few hundred years,
A
I'll look
vampire
back on these
GF.
days, and they'll also seem like someone else's life.
Maybe.
Not that I think Juliet is lying, but it seems to me like she's just being modest. I may not have known her for long, but if anything, she seems a little too perfect. It isn't too late in the evening yet, so there are plenty of other people out and about too. Occasionally, someone will recognize and greet Juliet, and she always gives them a friendly greeting in return. After walking in silence for a couple of minutes, I clear my throat. Wow, look at that scene. So romantic.
I've got a question.
What is it?
Do you always walk places?
As opposed to?
Flying. Can't you turn into a bat?
I know the chat is taking on a very different vibe than what we're playing here today.
Oh, yes. I suppose I can. I do so only sparingly, though. I find that I appreciate life more as a human than as a bat.
Why? That's weird. Like being a fox a lot more. Being a human just feels clumsy. Your arms and legs are way too long and get in the way all the time.
I suppose that's true. It can be quite awkward at times, or even embarrassing.
Yeah, exactly! I've never been embarrassed as a fox.
I understand. There are certainly downsides. I believe the good makes up for the bad, though. Some things are only possible as a human, or fabled.
Like what? I can't think of any, other than talking like this.
Like writing, for one thing, as our dear friend Aspen would surely mention. Or perhaps... like dancing. Have you ever danced, Miho?
That sounds like a line if I ever heard one.
Nope, never. I don't get why people do it either. Don't tell me you like dancing. Is that your hobby?
Why does she sound so disgusted? Don't tell me you're a dancer. Welcome back, Glory. Glad you were able to put TikTok down and put the groceries away.
I must confess that I do enjoy it. At times, that is. I wouldn't call it a hobby. But with the right person, at the right moment, it can be quite nice.
Miho's out here like, Juliet, that's so cringe. Why would you say that?
If you say so.
I find myself saying that a lot lately. Shaking and flopping your body around to music, it's not for me. I don't even know how they come up with this stuff. But I'm trying to remember to be polite, so I keep that part to myself.
So, on that note, I should have asked this earlier. Are there any hobbies that you have as Fox?
I never thought about it that way. But now that you mention it... Almost everything is better as a fox. The sun feels nicer on my fur than it does on my skin. Flowers smell better and more interesting when I sniff them. It's more... vivid.
I remember Aspen using that word and explaining what it means. I bet she'd be proud if she heard me use it.
You do make it sound lovely. But are those things you do for fun?
Those are things I do for fun. I think you're valid, Miho. I think it's valid to say that your hobbies are sitting in the sun and smelling flowers and taking a nap outside in the forest. Okay, that's valid. Welcome back to you as well, Ben.
Well...
I almost say yes right away, but then I think about it for a second. I do love those things I mentioned, but maybe they don't fit what Juliet is asking.
I guess not. They feel good, but they're not fun.
That's still valuable too.
So far, we've been following the same path that I took earlier when I went into town. But when we come to a crossroads, Juliet turns in the direction of a neighborhood instead of the city.
The first stop I need to make is down here. After that, we'll go look around and see if there's anything fun.
Alright, I'm just following you.
This isn't the same neighborhood where I hid from Juliet a couple nights ago, although it's pretty similar. Some of these houses are the sort that reminded me of Bugs when I first arrived in Wellington. We stop at one of them, a little one-story house with the porch light on. I follow Juliet to the front door, and she rings the doorbell. Miho's hobby is stealing. Yeah. Because it was like partially for survival, but in that scene where she was hiding from Juliet with the painting, like she was definitely like having a great time. Like she was super entertained and like proud of herself.
Is this for one of your errands?
Yes, we're delivering those papers that were requested.
She straightens out the 2 yellow packets she was carrying. The door opens and a young woman carrying a baby stands behind it.
Oh, Miss Juliet! So good to see you!
With one of her trademark smiles, Juliet hands over the papers and the two chat for a bit. I lean against the wall, not involved or listening. When talking to the lady, Juliet uses the same warm tone and softness as when she's talking to me and Aspen. In fact, if I close my eyes, I could almost pretend that I'm back at the breakfast table with both of them, listening to them go on about books. Eventually, the woman takes the folder, and after saying goodbye several times, we leave. As soon as we're off our property, I turn to Juliet.
What was that all about?
I suppose you could call it another one of my hobbies. Sometimes, patrons have requests for information on their ancestors, or a piece of history that they'd like to learn about. For example, Mrs. Aliyu wanted to know about her husband's culture so she could teach her new child. I find and collect what's requested, and bring it to those who asked.
Whoa, sounds like a lot of work.
It can be, but I don't mind it. The past is worth preserving.
Let's go!
Not everyone knows how. It's my honor to help people do so.
Did you all hear that? He apologized in advance. I don't know if you heard. He said, Julie, I'm sorry. Let's go! Yeah, the house is haunted. Gotta burn it, get a new one. It's haunted by a supercharged sports fan.
I have assistants too.
Oh,
such
Phyllis.
as
He
dear
scared
Orpheus,
Phyllis too.
who's
She's coming
delivering a
over.
letter on the far side of town for me.
Yo, she got the bats working for her.
Are all the bats your helpers?
Bats and Vampires Research Delivery Service.
Some more than others. They're friends, not pets. And so if they don't feel like helping, then I won't force them.
To me, it sounds like a lot of trouble to go through for someone else, even with the bats helping me out. But Juliet apparently likes being inconvenienced. It's the same as letting me stay in her library. Still, that sounds like it could be really helpful in my own search for the traveler. As Juliet leads us to our next destination, we leave the residential area and go back towards the city. I try to keep my eyes peeled for anything interesting. There are plenty of people sitting out at tables, having a meal, or walking around the shops, but nothing out of the ordinary. In fact, it's not that much different from when I was here earlier. There are more fabled and fewer humans, but there are still plenty of those too. Some of the places I passed by are closed now, but some, like the music store, are still open. When we come to a big building with a lot of posters on the walls outside, we stop.
This is one of our movie
We're
theaters.
gonna go on a movie
They
date.
show all the most popular films, as well as independent ones from local creators.
Calling it now, Miho's about to become the biggest film buff of all time.
Have you ever been to see a movie before?
Am I proud of you for what, Nate? Yes, I'm proud of you. Good work on the Signalis review. That just means more for me to edit. We should have a couple of things from Nate coming out to the site soon, though, including that one.
Not in a place like this. I know what movies are, but I don't think I've ever watched one.
You should try it sometime. Maybe you'll find you like them. Movies can make you feel all kinds of different things. Happy, sad, scared, or just amused. Some are good for making you think, and some are good because you don't have to think about anything and can just relax.
Why would I want to watch something that makes me sad or scares me?
For some, it's fun to explore different emotions in a safe environment like that. When we see something that makes us feel strongly, it can stick with you. Perhaps cause you to view things in a different light.
She is so smart. She's so wow.
And if it ever becomes too much, you can simply stop watching or put on something else.
I'll try it sometime. Although, I don't know about the sad or scary ones.
There's nothing wrong with that. Everyone has different preferences.
I'm proud of you both. Nate, you're doing good writing. Evan, you're doing good math. The likes of which I could never. Along the way, Juliet continues to point out different shops and locations that she thinks I should know about, like another library or a museum. I'm not very interested in either of those things, but I smile and nod and pretend like I am. After a while, we leave the city behind and reach the waterfront, just like I usually do. The ocean looks much different at night, with the starlight and moonlight reflecting off the water. Far out at sea, there are a few lights that must come from boats, and sometimes lights in the sky from passing airships. We head down a small path to the boardwalk, where we look out onto the water. There are a few empty buckets sitting on the ground nearby, as well as some folding chairs. I point them out.
What are those for?
People like to fish off at this pier. They come at all hours, but I believe this spot is used for teaching lessons during the day.
Yeah, Miho is an amazing character.
Ooh, lessons on how to catch fish?
She's about to become a pro fisher.
That's correct. Is that something you're interested in?
Maybe. It's one of those things that I like doing as a fox, but I don't know if I'd like doing it the human way.
Fishing minigame, that would be interesting. I'm not sure.
Should you decide you'd like to try, I'm sure there would be someone here who's happy to instruct you.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't want to commit to anything, but it couldn't hurt to come check this place out during the day.
I'm glad you found something that struck your fancy. Is there anywhere else you'd like to visit while we're out? Or should we return home?
Pretty soon we're gonna see Miho on social media with her big fish profile picture.
Nah, I'm ready to head back. Is there anything for dinner?
I'm sure we can put something together.
Then let's go.
Since I actually know where we are now, I lead the way home, with Juliet close behind me. It's another chilly morning in Wellington. I'm outside the Bell House waiting for Aspen.
People are gonna think I'm staking this place out. And for once, that isn't true.
Miho is fishing club president. I'd vote for her. It's after breakfast, but before the sun's up. Aspen invited me for a free drink before they open, but I'm starting to think I've been duped.
Anytime now.
I rub my arms and bounce around to try to stay warm. Right as I'm thinking about picking the lock myself, the front door swings open, and Aspen waves me inside.
So anyway, like I was saying, my uncle taught me this trick to make it taste better. You put a little bit of salt in the coffee and it brings out the flavor, right? Not too much. You don't want to make it salty, but just a little bit.
Sorry about that. I got a little held up.
I was thinking maybe you forgot about me after all.
No, you're not rid of me that easily. I was just...
I tried it and it's really good. Have you tried it? Remind me, I'll make you one. So then I was thinking, if I start doing that every time I make a drink, eventually people will start realizing that their coffee's better when I make it, but they won't know why.
Talking to Lena. That can always take longer than you expect or plan for. But she and I often look the other way for each other on certain things. Such as letting you in before the store opens, for instance.
Oh, am I not supposed to be here? That's cool!
She just loves to do her little crimes.
As long as we open on time, it's fine, and Lena and I are the two fastest. You kind of have to be when she's involved.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I don't know. We've seen Lena a couple of times. She's some sort of like bird-looking thing or like angel-looking thing. I think we might find out about her more though. We've just barely encountered her in passing, like once or twice.
I'm sure you'll see. Come on, what do you want today?
I inspect the menu. It's as unhelpful as ever. Oh no, Nate. Pain. Suffering.
Here's a paper copy, if that's easier to read.
She hands me a little printout menu. It's also distinctly lacking pictures.
Sorry, can't read it.
Oh, do you need a Korean version? I'm afraid we don't have one.
Oh, nah. Can't read any languages.
I love the nonchalant delivery of that. I may as well have told her that the sky is green. The zoom. Aspen stares at me in clear disbelief. This isn't the usual weird look. This is beyond that. Oh my god, Nate is cackling over there.
Let's go!
You heard it here first. Let's go. He's behind. She laughs nervously.
You're joking, right?
I shake my head. She collapses onto a stool behind her, fanning her face with the menu in her hand.
I can't believe it. I just can't. So you've never... You haven't. Wow.
Miho just rocked her world with that insight. I can tell she really wants to say more, but holds herself back.
I suppose that explains a lot. Still, I just can't imagine.
What the heck is that supposed to mean, Aspen? That explains a lot. It takes a moment, but she regains her composure.
Anyway, if you want to try something new, then how about our ambrosia latte? It's one of our seasonal beverages with apple and caramel.
Apples and coffee? I've never had that before.
Yes, well, we're experimenting with the recipe still.
I said that we should try adding more cinnamon to it.
I don't even know where Lena comes from. Suddenly, she's just there.
Aspen said it would overwhelm the other flavors, but I add extra whenever I make one, and so far no one's complained.
Lena, are you serious?
Well, yeah. How else are we gonna find out which one's better? I'll make one for your friend too, and she can tell us which one she likes more.
Lena?
The other girl hurries back to the kitchen, clearly not caring about what Aspen was about to say. Aspen sighs and shakes her head.
Right, well, I have to open the registers and put on the coffee. I'll have your drink in a couple minutes.
Okay, thanks.
I hop up on one of the tall stools and wait, swinging my legs back and forth. Before long, the cafe fills with the smell of warm coffee and baking bread. It's enough to make my mouth water, even though it hasn't been long since I last ate. Aspen roams between the kitchen and the front area, always looking very busy. She checks and inspects what seems like every drawer and cabinet in the place while getting ready. Distant Nate giggle. Lena's busy too, mopping and setting up chairs. At some point, she put earphones in, and her music is loud enough for me to hear it from across the building. Yes, we will take a break shortly for the Game of the Year video reveal. After a while, Aspen returns to my table, along with a steaming paper cup.
Here you go. One ambrosia latte.
I pop the lid off so I can take a peek at the drink itself. It smells light and fruity, and a swirl of caramel syrup is melting into the coffee and whipped cream.
Looks good.
Hopefully it tastes good too.
I have a tiny little sip since it's too hot to drink very fast. Wow, Nate. Light and fruity like Miho? Maybe so. The tartness of the apple actually goes pretty well with the coffee flavor.
It's a little sour, but it's not bad. Not as good as a fairy kiss chiller, though.
Well, I can't complain about that.
The chair squeaks against the floor as Aspen sits down across from me.
So, have you decided how you're going to spend your day?
Not yet. What about you?
I love that y'all are experiencing this. This is what it's like to just be in this house while Nate is watching any any gaming event. Just constant whoops and cackles that I can hear from, like, he's sitting here and I'm sitting like 2 rooms away. This is the experience.
There's still another 7.5 hours left on my shift, so I'll be here for quite a while. After work, I try to have a social life or get some writing done. Although lately I usually just collapse on the bed and take a nap.
Hey, me too! Without a bed, though.
Yes, well, I'm sure frolicking through the flowers and chasing rabbits gets tiring.
Ooh, are there rabbits around here?
Not for long, I imagine. Speaking of which, have you thought about what I said yesterday? About getting a job? It seems you have more than enough time on your hands. You do know what a job is, right?
More or less. I mean, I've seen people at work before, but I've never had my own job before you ask.
Yes, I'm aware. Anyway, you'd have money to buy things you want, and you wouldn't have to steal to get it.
What do I need money for, though? Juliet lets me sleep at her house, and she even gives me food.
I don't mean to sound rude or anything, but Juliet can't take care of you forever, you know?
I know.
Exactly. It's a lifestyle, Evan. Right now, I'm still getting used to even living here. I haven't given any thought to what might happen later on.
I don't even know what kind of job I could get. Is there some place that would hire me to steal things?
Oh, Miho. I hate that Aspen is trying to poison this sweet, sweet girl with the rise and grind capitalist mindset. Just let her steal for a living, okay? Let her do something she loves.
Not legally, no. But maybe you can find a way to use those skills.
What are you, a cop, Aspen?
Maybe you could be a
Mind your
security guard
business.
somewhere, or a locksmith.
Maybe. What exactly is your job, anyway?
Well, as you know, I'm a barista. That means I make coffee and tea and hot chocolate and whatever else our customers ask for. Some people rely on our products just to get through their day, so I consider it to be a very important job. If we were to close or go out of business, there would be a great many people who would be distraught over it.
Wow! And you're gonna do this for the rest of your life?
Not for that long, I hope. It's not my passion by any means, but I don't mind it. It can be rather exhausting though, especially on busy days.
I can't say she's selling me on this whole job idea. Stick with your guns, Miho. You're better off.
What is your passion?
It's this.
Like she was waiting for me to ask, Aspen dramatically pulls out a small notebook and puts it on the table. It's the one that I see her writing in all the time. I lean forward to look at it closely. It's not very big, about the size of my hand, and it's mostly purple in color. There's an intricate gold pattern around the border. It definitely looks fancy. I could probably get a lot of money for this at the right store.
This is my writing notebook. One of them, at least. My passion is writing, bringing stories and characters to life, making people feel what I feel. There's nothing quite like it. So challenging, yet rewarding. It's both my favorite activity and also the most frustrating one. This notebook is full of story ideas, lines that I come up with, or other interesting details. One of the best parts of working here at the Bell House is that I get to meet so many interesting and inspiring people. For example, when you first came in, I wrote a brief note about you.
Oh.
I never imagined that just a few days later we'd be having this conversation.
Trust me, I didn't either. What did you write about me?
For some reason, Aspen's face gets a little red.
I don't remember, just that I wrote something. It's in another notebook, not this one.
She remembers.
My dream is that someday I'll be able to make a living from my writing. In fact, when I moved to Wellington a couple of years ago, that was supposed to be the first step. It's been taking longer than I'd like so far. Every morning when I wake up, I tell myself that I'm not going to sleep that night until I finish at least a chapter. But then by the time I'm done with work, all I want to do is pass out.
Aspen, babe, you're really not selling anybody on this whole day job thing. You're just talking about how you don't have time to do what you're passionate about and what you love and desperately want to do because you're so freaking exhausted from your barista job.
Of course, that just puts me further and further behind.
I mean, really, this is the most relatable character, but let Miho live in her fantastical little fox world, you know?
I've really only myself to blame, I suppose, but life doesn't make it easy for me.
Sighing, Aspen puts her notebook away once more while I sip my drink.
Saying it like that, I can't fault you for not wanting to get a job.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm only here because I need some way to pay the bills. That's just the life of a starving artist for you.
Did someone say job? Are you getting a job here? Is this an interview?
From out of nowhere, Lena appears with a cup in her hands.
No, Miho's just a friend. And were you eavesdropping on us?
It's not eavesdropping if you're in public. You should learn to talk quieter if you don't want people to hear you. Like me.
Tell me you're joking.
About what?
Before Aspen can even answer, Lena turns to face me instead.
Anyway, that's too bad. We could definitely use the help. Hey, why not apply here if you're looking for work? I bet Aspen would put in a good word for you, right? I could do it too. It'd kind of be lying, I guess, since I don't know you that well, but you seem like an alright person. I mean, if Aspen trusts you, you have to be okay, I think. I can go get you an application right now if you want. I printed out a whole stack of them yesterday. Actually, it's the second stack, because the first one jammed up the printer and...
Lena, I am begging you to please be normal.
You're embarrassing me in front of my crush, Lena.
What? Tell me why it's a bad idea. Do you not think... What's your name again?
Miho.
Do you not think Miho could do it?
No, it's not that. I'm sure she'd do great. It's just...
Wait, that sounds fun. Would I get to work with you?
Yeah, we'd work together. Oh, you meant Aspen, didn't you? Yeah, she'd be there too.
Slapping her hands on the desk, Aspen stands up from the table.
It's certainly an idea. Perhaps one we should discuss later. Lena, you and I should be getting to work, don't you think?
Yes, a distant Nate cackle. It's like I'm streaming to like a live audience. I know it's totally unrelated to what I'm doing. But it's good to have the affirmation here in the room, you know?
Okay, boss.
Please just go unlock the door.
Okay.
Smirking, Lena heads towards the front of the store.
Feel free to hang out for a bit if you'd like, Miho. Although it's going to get busy soon, so I won't...
Oh, wait! I almost forgot! If you need something to do, come play tennis with me this afternoon.
Tennis?
We're making a friend? We're gonna go play tennis?
Yeah, you know, you hit the ball back and forth over the net.
I know what it is. Is that your hobby?
For now, I like trying new things.
I'll think about it. I should try something new myself too.
I wasn't asking. Anyway, you said it yourself. You're totally coming. So, I'll see you there.
Oh, okay. Just got strong-armed into it.
Okay.
I can't help but feel I've been roped into something here, but it's true that I should at least give it a shot. Maybe I'll turn out to like it more than I expect.
Cool.
Lena starts to leave again, but then suddenly jumps back around to face me again.
Oh, right. There's one more thing.
How many more things does she have? I can practically feel Aspen's exasperation as Lena runs back and slams the cup she was carrying onto the table in front of me.
Try this. Tell me which one you like more. The one I made or the one Aspen made.
Okay.
With an unnecessarily loud sigh, Aspen goes and unlocks the front door herself. I'm over halfway done with Aspen's drink, but I take another gulp, paying attention to the mix of flavors. Then I do the same with Lena's. Lena watches eagerly, fists clenched in excitement.
So, what you think? Come on, be honest.
I can't taste a single difference.
They're both good.
Sure, but which one's better?
Taking another sip of each, I try to detect anything that's different between them, but can't. Fortunately, Aspen saves me. She looms behind Lena like a phantom.
Lena, don't you think maybe you should go check the croissants?
Nah, I already looked at them earlier. A couple of them are kind of schoolish, but I tried to massage them back into shape. Don't worry.
For once, Lena's the one cut off as Aspen jerks on her apron strings and she flaps her wings to maintain her balance.
Why don't you go check on them again? Or maybe the muffins, if you haven't yet.
Aspen is fed up right now.
Fine. We all know Miho just didn't want to hurt your feelings anyway.
Aspen releases her, and Lena walks off to the back of the cafe like an embarrassed cat, pretending it was her idea all along. After she disappears into the kitchen, Aspen sighs yet again.
I'm sorry about that.
It's fine. She seems nice.
That is certainly one way you could describe her. What I was trying to say earlier is that you can stay here if you want, but I won't be able to chat. Our first customers will be here any minute now.
That's okay. I'll probably go back to the library once I finish my drinks.
All right, I'll see you later then. And don't feel obligated to finish both if you don't want to.
I'm gonna try. Bye!
Like Lena, Aspen also retreats behind the counter and starts filling the display case with pastries. I wonder if any of them are the croissants Lena was talking about. Sure enough, it isn't long before the first customers start to show up. Aspen takes their orders with that fake nice voice that she used when we first met. Already I've gotten more used to hearing her regular speaking voice instead. It's interesting to know that even normal humans like her still pretend to be other people sometimes. I wonder why she feels like she has to do that. So far, she's one of the nicest humans I've ever met. After I finish up my first coffee, I toss the cup away, but hold on to the second. I'll drink it later or something. Aspen waves as I leave the Bell House and start making my way back to the library. I've had my fill of wandering around for at least a few days. If I'm going to be bored, I might as well do it while I'm comfy. All us anxiety babies think we're the Lena, but we aren't the Lena, I promise. Yeah. She's a bit much, even more than any of us, even the most, like, outrageous. You all are too quick to say you're the Lena. Job or not, Aspen is definitely right about one thing. I really need to find something better to do with my time. Oh. Okay, Nate, I think maybe before we do some of these activities, I think it's time. But yeah, thanks everyone for watching.
And back to the book club here. I'll bring you back to the game even.
Oh, thanks, gamer.
Um,
I can do that. I'm a super talented streamer.
I'll say this: I had one interesting thought with the whole concept of you need to see people at once a day to be remembered.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if that's going to, obviously, I think you're gonna see Aspen and Juliet once a day. Like the story will make that happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I bet any of those side characters that we've already met, you're going to have to actively make the choice between which ones to see every day and the ones that you don't see every day.
Yeah.
And then that'd be interesting that really does affect the ending as far as like who remembers you, who doesn't, that'd be interesting. I don't know if it's that complex, but if it is, good on you.
Yes.
And I will say, the gay visual novel developers are noticing us.
Heck yeah.
I got a review key for another Yuri visual novel in my inbox.
Hello?
They said, we saw that you've been covering Yuri visual novels, so...
Let's freaking go! Oh my god. Look at how my actions have lately been influencing VGG. We got the Wooloop review key because I previewed it when their demo was up. That was exciting. And then now, I'm making a difference, y'all. Okay. It's time to break out the blue light blocking glasses. 'Cause my eyes are getting tired. And then we'll begin. You all should let me know what locations you want to see, because I'm pretty open to anything. I think that for one, we should go to the park. I assume we'll have a couple of different places we can go to. I think that first time we were able to go to 3 places.
No way.
Yes way. I don't know if it'll be the same every time, like the same amount of places that you can go to spend your day, but let me know which ones look the most interesting to you. Oh, wait. Are there only certain ones? There's only certain ones we can even go to right now. It's just that one. I really want to go to the botanical garden later, though. Interesting. I wonder if we'll be able to go back to that den area for some reason. Look, the library is called home now. I love it. I really hope we get to go on a botanical garden date. That would be so lovely. All right. Back to it, gamers. Let me see. We have sound up. Think we should have game sound. Let me know. After a few hours of sitting around at the library, I'm bored enough to take Lena up on her offer to play tennis. The only problem is, I forgot to ask her where and when. Sometime in the afternoon, I go down to the Bell House, where an employee tells me both Aspen and Lena have left for the day. I don't know if there's supposed to be sound here, or if it's just quiet. They give me directions to a place called Hataitai Park, which is where they say Lena mentioned before heading out. I follow their instructions and reach a big open area full of people on bikes, walking, or just sitting in the grass. I wander around looking for any sight of Lena or people playing tennis. Finally, I spot the courts and make my way over. Out of the dozen or so people who are playing, it isn't hard to find Lena when I get there.
Yeah!
Okay.
Nice serve!
There's the sound. Jump scare. She's so loud. She runs back and forth, leaping and diving to hit the little green ball before it can touch the ground. She flaps her wings to keep from falling over when she does. Yo, she's got the wings advantage. Her partner, a tall boy with antlers on his head, looks exhausted. When he swings his racket, it looks like his arm might fall off at any second. When I get close enough, Lena notices me and stops mid-dive.
Miho! You're late!
Now that she's distracted, her partner takes the opportunity to hurry away, collapsing into the grass to rest.
Sorry, I wasn't sure what time I should come by. Or where.
Oh, right. I guess I should have told you. In that case, good guess.
I don't bother telling her that I got help from one of her coworkers. Lena picks up a racket from nearby and offers it to me.
Ready to play?
Look at her cute little tennis outfit. I love it so much.
I guess so. I don't really know the rules, though.
Nah, it's fine. Me either. Just try to hit the ball, alright?
Okay, I can do that.
I take my spot on the other side of the net, trying to imitate the way other people are standing.
Alright, here goes!
Lena drops the ball and then knocks it towards me. I watch it carefully, and when it gets close enough, I swing. The ball goes soaring way over her head and falls into the grass out of sight somewhere.
Maybe a little less oomph next time. Let's try it again.
She serves the ball, and this time I just barely hit it over the net. Lena dives for it like before, and sends it sailing back to me. The more we play, the easier it gets. Both of us miss the ball or knock it into the net a lot, but it's not too bad. Finally, even Lena gets tired, and we take a break to drink some water.
How long have you played tennis?
Like, today or in my life?
In your life?
She thinks about it a bit, scrunching up her nose.
About a week.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah! How about you?
Miho is not impressed with that.
About half an hour, I guess.
Oh, right. I forgot about that. See? We're both trying new things.
The whole time we're talking, Lena keeps glancing away from me to watch the other players. I try to figure out what's so interesting, but can't.
Okay, break's over. Let's play some more.
We get back on the court and play for a little bit longer, until the end of the hour. As everyone else starts to pack up and leave, I follow Lena, who puts away our equipment.
So, what'd you think? Did you have fun?
It was alright. I wouldn't mind doing it again, but I don't know if I'd want to play all the time. I can see why some people enjoy it at least.
Being outside is nice, and it was a good way to burn off some energy.
That's good. They meet a few times a week if you want to come back.
Miho is about to make off with like 2 tennis rackets and like 16 tennis balls stuffed in all her pockets.
Will you be here?
Not sure yet.
Even while cleaning up, she's still distracted by someone or something else. When the other players walk past us on their way out the park, Lena turns her head to watch one of them.
Because we're planting trees here next time. Really exciting, right? If you want to help out, then come to me.
I catch a snippet of conversation as the person Lena's watching, a dryad, goes by. Lena must hear too, because she instantly closes her eyes and puts her fingers against the sides of her head.
Planting trees. Planting trees.
She repeats the words to herself a few times, then her eyes snap back open.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, I like the way they do the trailing dialogue and the cutoffs too.
Got what?
What I'm doing next time. I'll have to start studying up tonight so that I'm ready.
Okay, if you say so.
Miho's go-to line. I'm pretty lost, but maybe this is just how Lena is.
You should come too, if you're not doing anything. I'll tell Aspen to give you the details.
Sure, sounds good.
I'm not sure if I want to commit, especially since Lena probably won't even remember me the next time we see each other. But playing tennis wasn't so bad, so I should at least keep my options open.
Good. All right, see you then, Miho.
See ya.
Waving goodbye, Lena heads off down one of the paths. I take a different one that leads me out of the park and back to the library for the rest of the day. With a tiny ding, the toast pops up, and I load it onto the plate with the other slices. I bring the dish over to the table.
Thank you, Miho. Go ahead and put it by the butter.
Oops, sorry. Let me get my bag out of your way.
Once the table is set, the 3 of us sit. I've gotten more used to the routine of breakfast and know when to do things like pass the salt and pepper without being asked. Every morning so far, we have the same thing, eggs and toast. But it's a lot tastier than convenience store food, and there are different spreads and fruits to change things up. Like usual, I'm the first one to finish eating, followed by Aspen, who stretches with a content sigh.
Breakfast was as superb as always. Thank you, Juliet.
It's my pleasure.
The 2 of them saying this is part of the routine, too. Usually Aspen would be getting up right now to leave for work, except this time she doesn't.
Don't you need to go, Aspen?
Is this your way of trying to get rid of me?
She peers at me from over the rim of her cup as she sips her coffee.
Nah, I haven't thought about that. I was just wondering.
I'm not sure if I should be flattered. Anyway, I'm working a mid-shift today, so I don't have to go in until noon.
Will you be writing then?
Yes, I ought to. I'm about halfway through this draft, and I'm trying to finish it by the end of this month, so every minute helps.
Wait, Nate, what are you saying? What work is Glory trying to do for us? I don't know what you're talking about. But Glory, you should be relaxing right now. For me, please. Oh my gosh. Gamer. It's your weekend. You need to chill out. When do you ever rest and relax? Tell me the truth. Oops.
Oh my. Halfway already. That's excellent progress.
You're
I
currently
look forward to
resting and
reading it when you're
relaxing,
finished.
but trying to make plans to do the opposite.
Don't give me too much credit. I still have to get there first, and you know how that's gone before.
All you can do is keep trying.
What are you writing?
A book. I've been working on it for a couple of years now, as long as I've been in Wellington.
Whoa, you're only halfway done? How long is it gonna be?
Only halfway. I wish it was as easy as you think it is. It takes time to plan the story and prepare to write, and then, even after the drafting is done, you still have to edit it and fix it. Of course, the more you write, the better you become at it. And so sometimes you notice flaws in your story that you didn't catch before, so you have to go back or start over.
Nate, I'm not going to show the BRB screen right now, but Glory, you know the message.
How do you ever get anything done then if you're always getting better? Don't you just have to finish it eventually?
This conversation is too real.
Well, like I said, it's not that simple.
Aspen clears her throat.
Anyway, it's difficult to explain to someone who's never written anything. Believe me, any writer would tell you the same thing.
I glance over at Juliet, who's intently watching her tea as she stirs it.
And you? Did you end up finding something to fill your time?
Oh, like a hobby. Maybe. I don't know yet.
Well, don't worry about it too much. It's supposed to be fun, not something you have to force yourself to do. Although I'm hardly one to talk, there are times where I want to do anything except write.
It's okay. At least you have something. Julia told me about movies, so I might try watching one of those. Have you ever seen a movie?
Once or twice, I'm sure.
Actually, Miho, there was something I wanted to ask you.
What's that?
Well, how would you feel about helping out around the library as a part-time job?
Yes. I'd
I'll
like
pay
it.
you for your time, of course. It would give you something to do during the day, and it would be a great help to me.
Really? But I thought you didn't need any help running the library.
Yes, capitalism, and I don't want Miho to have to get a job, but also, that's my dream job.
It's true that I don't need it. The honor system has served me well for the day-to-day services, and I'm kept informed of any troublemakers. But in addition to the kind assistance from Aspen in the mornings, I also have to reshelve books, maintain the check-in and check-out logs, and more. I don't mind those tasks at all. In fact, I find them rather relaxing. But if you're uninterested, you're more than welcome to decline.
Sorry, I skipped that.
You needn't worry about being kicked out or disappointing me. I'm perfectly content either way.
Helping around here doesn't sound bad at all. It doesn't sound very exciting either, but it's not like I found anything else I'd rather do instead. At least it's comfy in the library and super convenient. There might be a go backwards button. Well, if there is, I don't know what it is. No, I didn't see. I was reading Evan saying no job, no job, no job, no job, no job. Where in option? Try help. Oh. Okay, but there's not a backwards one, right? Oh, L, open log to replay voice lines and roll back to previous text. Okay. Now we know. That wasn't like it didn't even miss the whole line, so I'm not gonna go back, but for the future. Having some money again would be nice too. It would be even better that there's no one trying to take it back.
Alright, I'll do it.
Juliet looks a little taken aback.
That was fast. Are you quite sure?
Yeah, I'll try it at least.
Of course. If you find it's not for you, then I won't be upset. Why don't you take the rest of the week for yourself, and you can begin on Monday?
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Excellent. I'll be looking forward to it then.
The two of them chat a little bit longer before Aspen leaves to go write, and Juliet goes to bed. I stay mostly quiet, thinking to myself, a job. That's something I never envisioned having. I figured I'd just keep stealing until what exactly? I'm not too sure. Until I find my person, I guess. That goal has been all I've focused on for my entire life. But now, spending time here in Wellington is actually making me plan things out in advance. Fucking work culture. Miho had the opportunity to be taken care of by a hot vampire mom and not ever have to go to work, and she still decided to get a job. But I mean, the job is with the hot vampire mommy, so I can forgive it. It's just like the temptation to have even more time with her, you know? When I stop and think about the future, it's a lot of emptiness and mystery. It makes me realize just how little I have to fall back on. Owie! That line hurts me. I don't like it. I'm saving it. But I hate it. That's why doing all these normal things like getting a job could be good for me. I don't know what might be useful someday. What the heck? Thank you, Infinity Break Gaming. 3 gift subs. You're so kind.
Let's go!
Let's go. Indeed. Thank you, Nate, for the input. Thank you, Ben. Are you heading out? Hello, distant Nate. Wherever you're heading, I hope you have a good time there. Okay, okay. Enjoy. As for my person, I'm still always thinking about them and how I can find them. That part hasn't changed. For now, I'll just go with the flow and see where it takes me. Oh! Ooh, now a lot of it is open. Okay. Okay. What is this one? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Okay, I'm thinking Cuba Street or Botanical Garden. What y'all think? I'm just curious to find out who that is. And I think the movie theater was on Cuba Street, so that might be like what we do there, possibly. Garden, I'm down. Let's go to the garden, gamers. I'm feeling a little aimless, so I decide to spend a day in the botanical garden checking out the plants at my own pace. My leisurely browsing rewards me with some weird flowers I've never noticed before. Evan's creating a new emote, Natoid cough. They're green and red and shaped so weirdly. They almost look like they have little mouths with teeth. I know you're not really supposed to touch things in botanical gardens, but I just want to see what these weird teeth petals feel like. Poke. Eek! Yuck! It's trying to bite me. What the hell? I reel my hand away as fast as I can, relieved to discover the plant has an extremely weak grip. As I do, it opens its maw back up, waiting for the next unsuspecting fool. Scary! Scary! I didn't know there were flowers that could bite you. I'm gonna go look at some normal flowers now, and I'll keep my hands to myself this time. That was cute. Once we finish eating breakfast, Juliet drums her fingers on the table, looking thoughtful.
Miho, it occurred to me that perhaps I should give you the proper tour of the library now. That way, you have the weekend to get better acquainted with it if you need.
Tour? I think I've seen everything, right?
Pardon. I meant of the books themselves. Where to find each genre and what they are.
Oh, right. Sure.
I wonder if Miho took this job, like, absolutely forgetting, oh shit, I don't know how to read. Just gonna be looking for the sections and be like, that might say, world history. It might say fiction. I don't know. I hadn't really thought about the books. To me, they're all the same, but I guess that wouldn't be true for everyone else. Right now, I have the place memorized in the same way you'd memorize a battlefield. What places are out of sight, how to get in and out, and anything else that might be useful. I don't think there are many battles that happen in here, so Juliet's tour would probably be more helpful.
If you'd like, I can show you a couple of my favorite books. That way, if anyone asks for a recommendation, you could at least make something up.
That'd be great.
Anything that makes it easier for me to make things up is fine by me. The three of us head to the entrance.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? As you know, this is the reference desk. It's where books are checked in and out, and where anyone who needs help can find it.
What kind of help do people ask for?
Usually, they need assistance finding a specific book. Or perhaps they need a recommendation for what to read next, as Aspen mentioned.
Hope they like the same books as her then.
Don't worry, I'll think of some that are more popular. Not my real favorites, which most people would be too bored to finish.
Dang, okay, a little judgy there, Aspen. They're not real literature fiends. Juliet leads us into the actual rows of shelves. I stare down the books as I pass by, committing as many details to memory as I can. Even if I can't read the words, I can try to remember the colors and shapes and covers.
Over here is the children's section. It's got lots of picture books and beginner reader books. The shelves are shorter too, so that children can reach them more easily.
Oh, I've seen some of those around. Are adults allowed to read them too?
Of course. Parents read to their kids quite often.
Some people read them for fun, too. You gain so much more appreciation for the illustrations once you're older.
We head over to another area.
This is the non-fiction section. It's for books about things that are true, rather than made-up stories.
I rarely visit this section, personally.
In a shady corner near Aspen's favorite table, Juliet taps a small sign hanging on one of the shelves.
This is the mystery section. Stories about detectives, murders, and other such subjects live here.
I do admire mystery writers. It's difficult to come up with a compelling one.
We go around the whole library like this with Juliet and Aspen, pointing out all the other sections. Finally, we come to a stop back at the desk where we started.
I do believe that's everything. Do you feel like you have a good understanding now?
It's hard to keep them all straight. Fantasy, history, cookbooks, biographies. I think I've got most of it, though.
By the end, my head feels like it's spinning, and I know that I won't be able to remember everything, as hard as I try. But I do feel like I've gotten a better feeling for the place. At the very least, I could show someone where to find the restrooms.
It is a lot to take in. Don't worry if you can't memorize it all right away. There's plenty of time to learn.
Even I forget where things are sometimes, and I've spent more time here than at my own apartment.
Thanks! It might take me a while, but I'll get it eventually.
I know you will. I have the utmost confidence in you.
If I'm going to do this, I may as well try my best. Maybe something good will come from it. And if not, I can always just leave.
Want me to show you the books I was thinking of now?
Sure.
I'll be off to bed myself then. Have a lovely day, you two.
Sleep well!
Night!
Juliet heads upstairs while Aspen and I go back to the shelves.
To start with,
She leads the way to the fiction section, which is easy to remember since it's the biggest. Aspen runs a finger across the books as we move down an aisle. I see her scanning the titles before she stops and taps the spine of one.
here we are, Wuthering Heights. I just returned this one recently after finishing my annual reread. It's a very tragic love story. The main character is rather terrible, I must confess, and there's an awful lot of death. But despite all that, it's beautiful.
That description definitely isn't what I was expecting.
People really like to read that stuff?
Sometimes, yes. You read to experience all kinds of different feelings. Besides, I think there's a kind of sad beauty to doomed romances like that. It really does put life in perspective.
If you say so.
You don't have to take my word for it. I'm sure you'll see for yourself once you start working here. In the meantime...
I follow Aspen to the other side of the room, where there are a couple smaller racks of books near the corner.
Do you enjoy poetry?
You mean like vases and stuff? Guess they're okay.
That's pottery. Poetry is...
She clears her throat.
prose. Words in their best order. Poetry, the best words in the best order. Samuel Coleridge said that. He was a poet, but he's not the one I have in mind. I'll show you what he meant.
The book she selects looks old, very old. It has a green cover that's rough like a lizard's skin, with the letters being faded gold.
Alfred Lord Tennyson is one of the most famous poets to have existed. I simply adore his work. Here, this is from The Lady of Shalott. Ahem.
She clears her throat again, even though it's only been a few seconds since the last time.
Willows whiten, aspens shiver. The sunbeam showers break and quiver. In the stream that runneth ever, by the island in the river, flowing down to Camelot.
I barely heard past the first line.
Aspens, like your name. Does it come from this poem?
If only. Aspens are a type of tree. Mum loves them. More than she likes poetry, for sure. I do wish I'd been named after it, though.
She reads me the rest of it, which ends up being pretty long. It's kind of hard to follow, but imagining the fields and towers that she talks about is nice. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've been to Camelot before. Some of the details in the poem aren't quite right. Anyway, even if I don't really understand the poem, it's nice to listen to Aspen reading it. Plus, there's no way I'll forget what that book looks like.
Alright, last one. I thought 3 would be enough to start, but you can always ask me for more recommendations if you need. I could suggest books until lunch, if I didn't stop myself.
I might someday. Even though I lived in the library for a few days now, I never really knew how many different books there were out there before.
Oh, believe me, this library isn't even a fraction of what exists. It's not that big for a library, in fact, just huge for a personal collection, which is really what it is.
How many books have you read?
I couldn't even guess. Definitely hundreds. Maybe thousands? I've never tried counting, but perhaps I should now that you mention it. It would be nice to look back on someday. Okay, here we are.
The book she takes me to is laid out flat on an end table where more people can see it, rather than on the shelf. Aspen might be me. Why do you say this? Calling me a nerd? I don't read that many books. What are you talking about? I just run a book club on twitch.tv.
Everyone knows the story of Peter Pan, the boy who never grows up and can fly.
Everyone except me!
Now you do too. Peter has a darling fairy friend named Tinkerbell, and he fights the dastardly pirate Captain Hook. Peter leads a group of boys called the Lost Boys, and they cause all sorts of trouble for Neverland, where they all live.
What do you mean he never grows up?
In Neverland, you never get older. So he stays a young boy for his whole life. Even when the girl he loves, Wendy, grows up and gets married, and someday dies.
You sure do like sad stories, huh?
I suppose I do. It's as Peter Pan himself says, to die would be an awfully big adventure. Still, it's not like I only like sad things. Romance is my favorite genre, and not just the tragic kind.
Let's go. I sit down on one of the chairs since it seems like Aspen wants to have a conversation. May as well get comfy. Aspen sits down too, fidgeting with the strap of her purse.
Why is it your favorite?
Why? Well,
Her hands stop moving while she thinks.
In a book, things can be much more perfect than in real life. A moonlit balcony all alone, or a sunset kiss on the seashore. Real life is considerably messier. I've never been in love before, although I think it sounds quite nice. As I said earlier, people read
Are you talking
to
about Peter
feel
Pan, Nate?
things.
But yes, it sounds like maybe that might be a little foreshadowing of the route if you do or don't take that path with Aspen.
So until that time, living vicariously through other stories is enough. What about you?
What about me?
Do you ever hope to fall in love? I assume you haven't been in love before, but maybe I'm wrong.
Nah, I haven't. I like being on my own.
Do you think maybe that would change if you met the right person?
I don't know. Maybe. I haven't thought about it much. Since everyone forgets me, there's never been a reason for me to care.
Aspen is asking some real leading questions here. Do you think?
I suppose that's reasonable. Still, that must be... Well, it doesn't matter. Do you ever watch movies? Or TV? Just about everything has a love story in it nowadays, not just books.
Nah, not in a long time.
How long?
She sure asks a lot of questions, and they jump around topics so much too. I don't really mind, but I have to try hard to even remember the answers. This is me trying to talk to Nate. Nate is a topic jumper. Severely. All the places I've seen and days I've spent have mostly blurred together in my head.
I'm not sure. A few years? There was a really big crowd around a window, so I wanted to see what they were all looking at.
And? What was it?
I don't know what it was. I didn't speak the language there yet, and I didn't memorize the sounds. But on TV, there were these people in white suits bouncing around, and the
Okay,
people watching
Sam.
seemed really excited
Big
by
brain.
it.
Aspen gasps.
Did the people on TV... Do you remember by chance if the place they were hopping around looked like a desert, all rocky and empty?
Now that you mention it, yeah. How did you know?
Miho watched the moon landing live, gamers. What do we think of that? She dashes a hand to her forehead in disbelief.
That was the moon landing!
No, I'm pretty sure I'd remember if the moon landed.
Oh my god! Oh, dear one. Incredible. That's just incredible. I love video games. Oh man.
Not like that, silly. It was when humans went to the moon for the first time.
Wait, they did?
Yes! And you saw it happen, apparently.
They must have had help from the Fableds' magic, right?
No, not this time. It was pure human ingenuity.
Wow.
You look surprised.
I am. I didn't know humans could do something like that.
Well, not just any human. It took a lot of work from a lot of people. It still does to this day. I can't believe you got to watch it live, though. What was it like?
Oh my god, Nate.
Had a really good lunch that day. Everyone was so distracted that I was able to sneak into a restaurant that usually would have caught me.
Let's go. Shout out to the moon landing. She shakes her head.
That's all you can remember.
It was some kind of pasta dish with a white sauce and lots of cheese.
Let's go, Alfredo.
I meant about... Oh, never mind. Anyway, I was just going to suggest asking Juliet about putting a TV in your room.
Big Nate vibes. Something incredible happened that day. I ate chicken Alfredo.
Surely there's one in this place somewhere. It would give you something to do, at least. And you don't have to be able to read to enjoy the story of a good show or movie.
Yeah, I might. I definitely need something to do other than walk around town all day.
Let me know if you do. I'll bring over some movies for you to borrow. If I can't recommend books to you, at least I can do that.
Will do. I don't know where else I'd start anyway.
After checking her phone, Aspen stands back up.
I'll be more than happy whenever you ask. For now, not to be rude, but I'm going to go right for a little while.
I feel like that's the first mention of a phone in the game. So we're in like modern times, like their cell phones. OMG, I could come over and watch movies with you if you want. Sam, I feel like you can predict the first movie we watch after you predicted the moon landing. Tell us, what are we gonna watch on our date?
I'm working on the last couple chapters of this book before I'm finished, and I want to be done with it as fast as I can.
Oh, sure. Good luck.
To tell the truth, I'm always a bit relieved when someone else ends the conversation for me. I never know how to do it myself. Oh, Peter Pan? It very well could be. I don't know about... maybe. I don't know. I feel like those are even still too modern. Ooh, Wizard of Oz. That's a good guess, actually. I wave goodbye as Aspen goes off to her table by the window, pen in hand. Within minutes, she's hunched over her notebook, writing. Aspen, girl, check that posture, okay? Okay, where are we going next? We can go play tennis again. Cuba Street, Bell House Cafe, Botanical Garden, Waterfront, to the Bay, to Mount Victoria. Vote Cuba Street. Nate guesses that it's the Disney version of Robin Hood with all the foxes. Alright, gamers. Cuba Street it is. A bakery on this street is giving away free samples today. So of course I'm sneaking by it as many times as I possibly can and filling my pockets with goodies. I just really need to sample it and make sure I like it. Once my pockets are practically stuffed with the little puffs of bread, I slide off into an alleyway to sample my spoils in peace. Listen, this is the most minor form of stealing out there. She is just being resourceful. Uh-oh. I hadn't realized these were cream-filled and squishable. And now my pockets are a mess. Well, I popped the one still in my hand into my mouth, at least. Luckily, it's really good. Washing my jacket out in the river is probably going to be a little less good. So Lena is gone from there. So I guess we can still go there, but she might not be there. And now this person is back at Cuba Street. Let's see. Sam! Spicy. I don't know where to go. I'm thinking park or waterfront to talk to this guy again. Can you still go back? No, the den for the past couple of times has been grayed out still, but maybe at some point it'll open up again. Go see the boat guy. Are you talking about this guy here at the waterfront? That's where I'm leaning to.
Bro, I
What?
said that like a long time ago.
You said that?
Yeah.
I didn't see.
Yeah, you're better at chat reading.
I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Nate is so sensitive. While trying to think of something to do, I suddenly remember the fishing lessons that Juliet told me about. Is he going to lead our fishing lessons? That's going to be so good. I'm already pretty good at fishing as a fox, but it does have its downsides, like having to get all wet and ending up with scales in my teeth. I know some people go fishing for fun, so maybe I'd like it too. At the very least, it could be useful to know someday. Nate, you're training me to be a streamer, but what am I supposed to do when your message is overshadowed by Sam saying, I'm also cream redacted? What am I supposed to do? It was distracting, okay? Stand out a little bit more in chat, how about? Well, you're doing a great job at it, Sam. Besides, it's not like I've got anything better to do. Down at the waterfront, there's a big crowd like always. The merchant booths that Juliet pointed out to me have long lines and clusters of people in front of them. Right along the water, there are fishermen selling all kinds of fresh fish. The smell mixed with the salty sea air is making me hungry. I wander over to the spot that Juliet pointed out to me. Look at that pose, okay. Today there's half a dozen people with fishing rods in their hands, lines out in the water. They're all spaced apart, and behind them is a man who's giving instructions.
Hold on. Don't I know him?
I look closer. Sure enough, it's the man I met on the mountain not too long ago who taught me what a kiwi is. He paces between the people fishing, adjusting their posture and giving them advice. There's another person helping him out, a younger guy who's untangling lines and preparing supplies. One of the fishermen waves at the instructor for help.
Hey, Mr. Kim, can you give me a hand?
Can you give me a hand? Was this a pirate? Yar.
Coming!
Mr. Kim practically skips over and shows the person how to send out their line.
I need some help too. Which bait should I use?
That depends on the fish. Let's take a look.
He bounces around between the group before he spots me and gives me a big hearty wave.
Hello there, miss. Here for a bit of fishing?
I was thinking about it.
You've certainly come to the right place. First time fishing?
With a rod, at least. I usually do it with my teeth.
Oh, I can't say I've ever tried that myself, but if you'd like to learn how to do things our way, I'd be glad to show you.
Sure, why not? I came all this way.
That's the spirit. Here, why don't you go ahead and stand here?
I take a spot on the pier and face the water. Mr. Kim goes through how to hold the rod, how to put the bait on the hook, and finally, how to cast. Once he's done explaining, he steps back to give me some space. What the heck? When did Phyllis get under my feet? There's a Phyllis right here. I also love how she wears that jacket.
All right. Now let's see what you've got.
Right, so I stand like this and put my hand here.
I do my best to copy everything he showed me, and then with a flick of my wrists, I cast my line out to the sea.
Perfect! Nice job. Oh, I forgot to ask for your name.
Miho.
Nice job, Miho. Keep it up and you'll be a master angler in no time.
How long does it take to catch one?
Well, now that depends on the fish. It could be minutes or it could be hours. I've been after the same fish for years.
Whoa! Don't you ever go home?
He laughs, and I'm reminded of the first time we met up on the mountain.
I certainly do. But I always come back. Patience is the most important virtue, other than maybe a bit of luck.
Mr. Kim goes to check on the others while I stand there waiting. It doesn't seem like anyone else is getting a bite, so at least it's not just me. Suddenly, one of the other fishers yells with excitement.
I got one! I got one!
They frantically start to reel in their catch. All of us gather around to watch.
Steady, steady.
They plant their feet firmly, reeling with all their strength, but it's clear that the fish is fighting back.
Can you help?
Of course.
Mr. Kim also grabs the rod, and together the two of them manage to land their catch. What a beautiful fish. This game is so freaking pretty. Everyone, including myself, gasps as a fish breaks through the surface, its red scales shining in the sunlight. Mr. Kim lets go so the fisher can admire their prize.
Whoa! And isn't she beautiful? Congratulations.
My stomach rumbles just from watching. Unfortunately, after a few more minutes of waiting for my own fish, I still don't get any bites. Finally, it's time to pack up and head home. Mr. Kim catches me before I can leave the pier.
So, what do you think, Miho? Does it beat the ways you've gone fishing before?
Sam, I don't remember if you were here last time or earlier today even, but this world has like what they call fabled. So there's a bunch of like just sort of random like fantastical people and things. Like Miho is a fabled who was a fox and now can turn into a human as well. And she can go back and forth between the forms. But there's also like mermaids and just different like sort of people mixed with animals and stuff like that. So that's what that's about. Yeah, there's some other ones. We've only seen a couple of them though.
That was okay. I didn't catch anything in the end. But it was cool to watch you and that other person get one.
It's like that sometimes. You just have to keep trying. I hope we'll see you around again sometime.
Yeah, maybe. Thanks for showing me all that stuff.
In the end, it was a lot of just standing around. What he said about needing patience makes sense, but if I'm looking for something fun to do, then I'm not sure if this was exciting enough. But it was kind of relaxing, and I do still think it would be useful to learn. Either way, I'm glad I came and checked this place out. Now to go see if Juliet keeps any seafood in the fridge at the library. Oh, also, Sam, Juliet is a vampire. I don't know if you were there when that got revealed. But yeah, so she's another one of the fabled. Yeah. For real, yeah. She's been around like forever, and we saw her like turn into a bat during the last session, but then just during this chapter is when it was like actually confirmed. Either way, I'm glad I came and checked this place out. Now to go see if Juliet keeps any seafood in the fridge at the library. After another day spent entertaining myself around town, I decide to take Aspen's advice and ask Juliet about a TV. I know, I love my vampire librarian. The light is on in Juliet's study, meaning she's in there. I knock on the door and get an instant response.
Come in.
The study hasn't changed at all since I was here a couple days ago. Except there aren't any bats in the corner this time. It's just me and her.
Hi.
Good evening, Miho. What brings you here?
I'm a little bit worried about how to do this. Usually I just take something I want. Lately I've started saying yes when people offer me things, but going in and just asking for something? Well, I'll have to do it sometime. Aspen writes the books to fill Juliet's library, Miho reads them and steals food for the three of them. That is the ideal ending. I wish.
I had a question. Yesterday, Aspen said I should ask about getting a TV in my room. That way, I'd have something to do.
Oh, that is a good idea. I take it today wasn't particularly exciting either.
Not really. It was fine. Nothing bad happened. I'm just...
I don't want to say I'm bored. What if she thinks I'm blaming her, or ungrateful? I bite my lip, trying to think of a better way to put it, but she seems to read my mind.
Bored? It's all right, you can say it. An empty room would be boring for anyone. I believe there should be a television somewhere around. Let's take a look.
I follow behind her out of the office. Juliet takes me down one of the hallways I've never been down, and where I don't think I've ever seen the lights turned on. We pass by several doors.
What are all these rooms?
They've been all kinds of things over the years. Bedrooms, studies, playrooms. But now they're mostly just storage.
We stop in front of one door, indistinguishable from the rest.
I believe this is the one.
It's not locked. Juliet just opens it normally. Inside is dark and dusty. The window is covered with heavy curtains that don't let any light in. In other words, what you'd expect from a vampire's house. There's tons of junk leaning against the walls, like some faded bicycles and a dresser that's missing a drawer.
Ah, there it is.
Juliet points and I see what she's looking at. There's a TV in one corner with its cords wrapped around itself in a thick blanket of dust. We both walk over and I wipe some of the dust away. It immediately blows into my face.
Miho,
Bless you.
are you all right?
That's such a cute sneeze. I cry. Still, I back a few steps away.
As you can tell, it's been a while since I've come in here.
Also, I just read what you said, Sam, about if Aspen gets sad about being mortal, Juliet can always turn her. That's like the only way she's ever gonna finish that book, isn't it? That's the only way you can finish your passion project, is if someone turns you immortal. It's hard out here. Much more carefully than me, Juliet cleans off the TV. Yeah, the voice actors are all so good. I was gonna say earlier that Miho is like just such a talent. Like, I just love her voice so much for this game, but really, like, all of the voices have really grown on me a lot today. Nate, yeah, I'll probably keep going a little, at least, like, hopefully there will be a good stopping point sometime soon.
I believe it should still work, though.
Okay, I can move it to my room then.
It's all right. I can take it.
Thank you, Juliet, my big strong vampire. Juliet effortlessly lifts the TV up and begins to carry it to my room.
Whoa.
I know from plenty of experience that TVs aren't exactly easy to lift. I know, I want to see it.
I need to remind myself to never piss her off.
TV acquired. I hurry after her, arriving at my room just as she sets the TV down in the corner and plugs it in.
Let's see.
She presses the power button, and with a soft buzz, it comes to life.
It works!
Indeed. I'm relieved. Let me try to remember how to use it.
It's kind of slow, but she manages to explain all the different buttons and what they do, and how to use the remote. It doesn't seem that complicated, but also I never learned how to do it either. I can't tell, does it have built-in VHS? I don't know what else those like long strips would be, but they're kind of like thin to be VHS, I feel like. Once we make sure it's not going to die or anything, Juliet leaves me on my own with it. I changed through all the channels, getting an idea for what there is. There are some channels with cartoons, which I know are meant for kids. There are also some shows with real people in them, but they don't make much sense to me. Maybe if I watched them from the beginning. There are also plenty of ads. I recognize more products than I do shows. That probably has more to do with my lifestyle than anything else, though. Even flipping through stations constantly, I do find myself having much more fun than if I was just napping or walking around. I see why some humans do this all day. Eventually, I go back to one of the cartoon channels. Even if they're for kids, they're easier to follow along with. I pick one and leave it running, climbing into bed to watch. I end up spending a few hours watching until I fall asleep that night. Having something else to follow along with and think about is a nice distraction from having my own doubts and worries creep up on me. Miho knows what's up, falling asleep to the cartoons. That's the life. If this is what a normal life is like, then maybe it's something I could get used to after all. Okay. I think we should go back to the park. I think it's been more than a day, but I kind of want to see, like, just how that interaction will go with her, even if she doesn't remember us. Since I don't have anything better to do, I decide to head back to the park to see Lena. Aspen told me where and when I could find her, although we both know that Lena won't have any idea who I am. Making sure that I see Aspen and Juliet every day is hard enough as it is. Although I like Lena, I don't think I could put in the effort to have her remember me too. Maybe if she started coming by the library in the mornings like Aspen does, although I'm pretty sure that's the last thing Aspen would ever want to happen. I go back to the park where we played tennis and wander around searching for Lena. It takes a bit longer since I'm not looking for something as obvious as a tennis court, but I finally find her in a group of people near some trees. All of them, including her, have shovels in their hands and are working on digging holes. Finally, something I'm good at. Although, compared to tennis, it looks more like a punishment than a hobby. I walk over to Lena, who's barely made a dent in the ground. She waves when she sees me, but not in a familiar way.
Hi there! Here to volunteer?
Maybe? Volunteer for what?
To save the planet, duh! What does it look like we're doing?
Digging in the dirt?
Exactly! We're planting new trees to, help beautify the city of Wellington by promoting natural resources. I think.
Miho, voiced by Dotovu, a YouTuber who does lots of voice acting. Juliet, voiced by Shara Kirby, voiced lots of anime and game characters, including the Ghostbusters game in Genshin. Aspen, voiced by Anna Chloe Mori, bunch of games and web videos, including one called Sonic vs. Rule 34 Collection. Interesting! Thank you for the background. She says the second part like she's reading off of a label or sign.
If you want to help out, go talk to Cyrus. He'll get you all set up.
I hope we're about to turn into our fox form and just blow them all away with the holes that we can dig. Lena points over at someone that I sort of recognize, the dryad that Lena was watching when we played tennis. Aww, he's so cute. Since I'm here, I may as well give it a shot, so I follow her instructions and walk over.
Hi there. I'm here to help out.
Welcome aboard. I'm Cyrus. Here's a sapling and a shovel.
Cyrus holds out a shovel in one hand and a small bucket with a tree in the other. I take them, doing my best not to drop the sapling.
Okay. I'm Miho. What do we do now?
First you dig, then you plant. Then you do that over and over until you get bored and go home.
He sounds like he's really passionate about this.
That sounds easy enough.
Everyone says that at first. Good luck.
He starts to walk away, but then pauses.
Hey, quick question. Are you friends with that girl over there? The one with the wings?
Lena? Sort of.
Can you let me know if she... Actually, never mind. Forget it. Let me know if you need any help.
This time, he really does leave, walking around to check the progress everyone is making. Now that I'm all set up, I take the things he gave me and go back to where Lena is.
Good to go? Since you're new too, let's have a race. We can see who plants more trees by the end.
Oh, we're gonna win. Before I can respond or even think about it, Lena starts furiously hacking at the ground. Dirt flies like when I was building my den. I watch her for a second and then start on my own. I don't really want to compete with Lena, so I go at my own pace. It's a little awkward. I could do this in seconds as a fox, but using a shovel feels strange and inefficient. Muscles I didn't even know I have start to feel sore. Only a few minutes later, Lena sprawls on the ground in exhaustion. She's only halfway done at best.
I didn't think it'd be so hard to dig a hole.
While she's laying there, Cyrus comes around on one of his inspections. He stops and examines both of our handiwork.
Nice job, Miho. You're a natural.
Yay, we're good at it.
Lena? Good effort.
Lena leaps to her feet, using her wings to propel herself into a standing position.
I wasn't taking a break.
Oh, she's not gonna read the rest of it.
I was,
Oh, there we go.
testing the ground to see if it might be softer over here. Look, this one will be even better.
Before our eyes, Lena starts to attack the ground again, even faster than when she started racing me. Dirt sails over our heads as she tosses it away from herself, with some of it falling onto Cyrus's head. He looks strangely resigned.
Just don't hurt yourself, okay? I don't want to have to carry someone to the hospital again.
Carrie? I mean, again?
She's about to get an injury on purpose. Lena asks questions without stopping her work.
It's a long story. Anyway, just be careful.
As he begins to leave, Cyrus puts a hand on my shoulder. I tense up, but manage to not shake it off.
Keep an eye on her, would you?
I nod, and Cyrus walks away. As soon as he's out of earshot, Lena comes to a halt.
Miho, right? I need you to break my arm.
Oh, Lena. Down bad, babe. Oh no. Oh.
You...
Mm.
What?
They're going to a lot of lengths.
Yeah, maybe that's a bit much. Maybe just a finger would be enough.
Why would you want to do that?
Oh, you're right! A broken leg would make more sense.
I'm not entirely sure we're having the same conversation. I decide to try a different approach.
So, are you and Cyrus friends or something?
Friends? Kind of. Unfortunately.
You don't want to be friends?
I want to be more than that!
For the first time ever, Lena looks around after speaking, like she's worried someone might have heard her. Welcome back, Ben. We're wrapping up soon.
Best friends?
More than that! Like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh.
Just like, what's that? That explains why I didn't understand.
How's that going?
She sighs and her wings droop.
Well, you just saw pretty much. I know Cyrus from ballet, but I quit ballet, so I only get to see him at other stuff like this. But he's always trying something new every week, so I do too. But it's kind of hard to talk to him, especially when he's so busy. When I heard he was gonna come plant trees, I had no idea he'd be in charge. So I can't let him think I'm a slacker or bad at tennis. Not when he already thinks I'm a quitter.
I think I get it.
The one thing I know for sure is that it sounds complicated. Good luck, Lena. The two of us go back to shoveling dirt, and eventually we go deep enough that we can plant the saplings Cyrus gave us. I carefully set mine in the ground and then cover it back up the same way I've seen other people doing. When it's time to wrap up, Cyrus makes one last trip around, collecting shovels and handing out water bottles. When he reaches us, he nods approvingly,
Good work, both of you.
Thanks.
I gulp down the water he gives me in just a few swigs.
Yeah, thanks.
On the other hand, Lena still seems a little dejected. She doesn't even try to talk to Cyrus before he leaves. When the two of us part ways, she just gives me a half-hearted wave.
See you later.
Yeah, bye.
I'm not even sure what she'll be doing next time, much less when or where. Maybe Aspen will tell me about it again. Digging holes wasn't exactly something I'd want to do a second time, but planting a tree was satisfying. And I'm kind of curious to see how things go with Lena and Cyrus, if they go at all. Lena's kind of a lot, as Aspen says, but she's nice. I hope everything works out for her at least. Looking around, I notice that I'm the only one left, so I toss my empty bottle in a recycling bin and start making my way back. I think maybe the exclamation mark here, I don't know if that's like there's an event that we're supposed to do or if that's like signaling that like that person would still remember us if we went back. Nate, I want to hear from you. Which one do you want to go to?
Cuba.
Cuba Street?
Wait.
What?
Mountain.
Mountain?
I haven't been there in a minute.
Okay. Glory, yes, we went to the botanical gardens once. There was nobody there. It was just like a little like cutscene experience, and we discovered the weirdness of Venus flytraps. And she stuck her finger in it and got freaked out and was like, okay, bye, I'm gonna go look at the normal flowers now. It was really cute. Nate says Mount Victoria. They sure are fucked up. Weird little guys. So we're gonna go to Mount Victoria. There must be some kind of dog marathon happening soon because a ton of people are walking their dogs up the mountain today. In this form, dogs don't usually bother me, but for some reason, almost every dog I walk past today tries to stop their owner to sniff at me. I'd be lying if I said it wasn't making me kind of nervous. Dog marathon. I do my best to ignore them and continue on my way. But after the 10th or so dog tries to physically drag its owner over to me, I'm starting to get weirded out. Did someone put a sniff me sign on my back or something? While twisting around, checking to see if anything strange was stuck to me, I remembered something in my jacket pocket. Right. I snatched a bunch of beef jerky this morning. How could I forget? A little hiking gift from past Miho to current Miho. Thanks for the snack. After having dinner and saying good night, I head upstairs and get ready for bed. As I flick off the lights and start to leave the restroom, something in my reflection catches my attention. My bead is glowing slightly. Just barely. It's so faint that I can only notice it in the darkness. Removing the necklace, I inspect it more closely. They're warm. Not just my magical bead, but the regular ones next to it too. Not as warm as when I use my transformation magic, but enough that after hundreds of years of carrying them, I can detect the difference. I'm not sure what it means, Everything about my magic has always been a mystery to me, really. Some things, like transforming, I just knew how to do instinctively from the beginning. But other than that, my bead always comes back to me, no matter where I leave it. I don't know much about it. Returning to my room, I brush my hair to the side and put the necklace back on. I don't have to wear it when I sleep, but it feels more uncomfortable not having it on. Like something's missing. When I climb into bed, I pull the covers up to my chin like always. Rather than transforming, I just lay there, staring at the ceiling. Tomorrow is my first day of work. Oh no, our first Sunday scaries. Never in a few hundred years had I expected that thought to ever cross my mind. Laying here in the place that I've started thinking of as home, the idea doesn't seem that scary. I'm a bit nervous, but I'm excited too. Maybe I'll be really good at it. It'd be nice to be good at something other than thieving. As my eyes begin to get heavy, it occurs to me that usually I'd have changed into a fox by now. Except for the first night, when I was too tired, I've spent all my nights here in that form. But tomorrow, I'm taking another big step into people life, so it feels more appropriate to stay this way. Rolling onto my side, I face out the window as I let myself succumb to sleep, with the gentle warmth of my beads against my neck. All right. Should we stop here? The morning of our first day of work. Think it seems like a good place to stop. We'll save capitalism for another day, you know? We can hold it back for just one more session. Can we not? Yes. I also always want to stop right before I go to work. Okay. It is saved. The perfect time to stop to avoid work. Perfect time to stop a game. Perfect time to start a game is to avoid work. Games are always good for avoiding work.
Until we meet again, then.
Lovely. Oops. Don't need that screen yet, I guess. They are all so cute. It's okay. Had a good time with Goaty. I'm glad we got to reveal that today. Thank you everyone for being here today. It was a lot of fun. I really, really love this game. It's so charming. All the characters are so charming. The voice actors are amazing. The visuals are beautiful. I'm not sure how many chapters there are. I was kind of hoping that we would get through all of chapter 2 and like start on chapter 3 next time. But I don't know like if they're all cut at sort of the same length.
I bet chapter 1 was short because it's the intro and that they're like introducing the going around stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So now it's longer.
Nay shouting to me across the room. You can come over here if you would like. Say goodbye.
What do you think I am? A sociable human?
The owner of this streaming channel? That's who I think you are.
I'm not owner. Don't put that on me.
The wild Natoid. trying to summon him. Everyone summon the wild Natoid. Please bring your powers together. Oh no. Yeah, it was fun. And we're gonna have an edited, finalized version of the Goaty video coming up later. We'll share that out. You can all share that. Hello.
Me.
2018 dog.
What's up?
Come,
Hey.
come in here. What are you doing?
I'm puppeting.
You're so weird. Look, everyone thinks you're dead. You're scaring the children.
Hello, Phyllis.
Phyllis is chilling down here. She wanted to end the stream with us too.
She said
That's why.
she was trying to kick
obviously.
you out. She was like, "Stop streaming. Hang out with me."
So true.
Hi, gamers.
It's Nate. I got him. We all got him.
The game got scary since I left the stream. It is now 30-20.
Oh wow, that's a big change.
Yeah, it was what 24 nothing.
24, yeah. Well, bummer.
It's been a rough go.
But yeah, we'll have the video coming out. I think the
There'll be
two
a
of us
post.
are gonna work on
Yeah,
putting together like a secondary, like we did last year. We did sort of a like games that didn't make it to the Goaty nominee list, but that we want to shout out before.
So we'll have a-
not before the end of the year. The year's over, but we want to shout out like before moving on. You know?
so we'll have a bunch of goofy categories like, yeah, just didn't play it in time,
Mhm.
whatever.
Last year we had like games we cried to at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Last year, famously, my winner of I just didn't play it in time, but totally would have been a nominee, was a Psychonauts 2,
Yeah.
which really might have even just given Chicory an actual fight last year.
If it had made it.
But yeah, so we'll have that coming out. We have some reviews coming out. What else? Yeah.
That's the big stuff coming to VGG for now.
I swear on my life, we're gonna have a highlights video from the camp out.
He has been working on it, genuinely. The time has come. It's coming.
I just wanted to get the Goaty done first. So
Yeah.
this hopefully by the end of next week. Hopefully maybe by the next stream. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
It's a big endeavor, okay, to cut down 24 hours into, like, I already feel bad that I'm doing 24 hours, and I was like, I want to do like a minute per hour. But that's still 24 minutes of a highlights video, But there was a lot that happened, so.
Yeah, it's a lot to put together. We all get it. We all understand. You're valid. We're all eager for it, but no one's like,
yeah, and Double Fine December also.
fighting you about it.
Double Fine December also derailed that happening
Yeah.
anytime sooner.
Yeah. That was a big undertaking.
But yeah. Next Saturday.
Next Saturday, we're going to be back for Fern's Book Club. More Please Be Happy. We're going to be starting our part-time job at the library.
Let's see. I'm kind of feeling more like maybe we just chill and don't raid. Just because we don't have the ability. We're going to have to run off immediately after anyway,
I mean, we could still raid and just be like, sorry, we're going to have dinner.
Oh, who do we go?
Let's see.
They either have less today.
Yeah.
There's
We can
that
just go
person
there.
too. Which one?
This one.
Okay. We're gonna go hang out with our friends that we raided last Saturday too. At Ultra Melon. So you can just you have to know the right spelling for that. I don't know if you do the at. I don't know. I don't know, man. I never do it that way.
Coward.
All right. Well, hey.
We're doing it.
All right, gamers, we're going to go rate our friends at Ultramelon. They are playing Wind Waker. This is their first playthrough. They've been having a good time with it. Every time we go over there, we almost break their stream. So help us in doing that again. Fern is going to craft a beautiful raid message. Going for a field goal. We're going for a field goal. Yeah, next Saturday, more gay book club. But go give our friends over at Ultramelon some love. They're great people. They stream every day, which is so nuts to me. That's the message,
That's
chat.
gonna be our raid message.
Copy that. And at least come on with us with the raid and drop that in their chat. Let them know that we sent you, you know.